Alright, let's do a little sound check here. You guys should be able to hear me. How the turntables indeed. Yep. What I'm doing right here, right now, is I'm going to pull up the Discord here. And I'm going to show you guys. Always try to point this out at the beginning. You know, there's a Discord. You can go hang out. Got a bunch of talks coming up in about 2 weekends. You can come and hang out with us, and there's a whole bunch of talks. We're not going to go through all of them right now, but there's a bunch of people coming to talk that may be talking about something that's interesting to you guys. Yeah, Fisherman, my wife's at a what's it called? A scrapbooking retreat. So she's going to be back tomorrow, and then we're going to have like a big family dinner thing over here. So we weren't supposed to host this month, but the other, we do every month some other member of the family hosts. And the one that was hosting this week, which is our... Well, I guess they're both my brother and sister-in-law, but my wife's sister-in-law, because it's her brother's wife, her mother passed away, so they're not going to be able to hang out and stuff and do all the normal stuff, so we're going to hang out and just do it all over here. Morrison, yeah, I'm going to hang out tonight. I'm going to just be on, just doing some Linux stuff. Updating, I'm going to update some stuff, but what I wanted to show you guys was this. I said I would do this yesterday, and I'm going to do it. Watch. I don't want you guys to think I'm a complete liar. We finished up the Socratic Ansible notes. This goes with this document right here. So there is in our Discord, there are presentations. And in the presentation section, there was the Socratic Method Linux with all the Linux stuff that we worked on. Remember, we did that as a big group. Well, now this one is going to be the Socratic Method for Ansible, which is right here. And I'm going to add its notes right here. So notes that we worked on for Socratic Ansible. So you say, well, how does that work? Well, you do the lab, right? You press the button and the lab finishes for you, because labs are pretty straightforward. But then you go through this and it answers these questions for you. And hopefully you get to the end and think, oh yeah, I learned something. You know, you get to... oh shoot, where are we going here? Linux group. Come down here, and what do we call this? This is Socratic Notepad. Yeah, Socratic Ansible. Whoops. We know that's there, so we're going to grab it, drop it in there. And it said notes that we worked on for Socratic Ansible, and I hit enter. So there it is. So what you would do is you would pop up the lab, right? You would go into Killer Coda, like you have all these links to get to. You would go to Ansible, you would do the labs, you would look at the presentation over here and say, I have done the lab, do I understand this part? And then these questions here, from the Socratic questions here, are all contained and answered in this. Here's the way that I did it. It's not the only way to do it, but it is the way that would work to answer those questions. And the Socratic method is, you know, do I understand? What does the block module do in Ansible? Do I understand that? How's it going, Jake Sek and Morrison and Fisherman, all you guys that are here? And I'm sure we'll have some over on the YouTube side hanging out just a little bit. We're just, you know, we're just working through stuff today. But anyways, I posted this up in the Discord. So if anybody wants to go plunder that and grab that information out, you can. That's perfectly acceptable to me. I'm going to move this back off to the side. And just let you guys know, you know, there's an Ansible, or an Ansible. There's an Ansible, but there's also a Discord that you can go hang out in if you want to. All right, so what I need to do here, there's a few things I need to do to update the book. We added this, we didn't add anything in here, I don't believe. Let me look. All of these are here. Yeah, all of those are there. Let's go to our... Pretty sure those are all there. Yeah, firewall configuration. All right, we're going to go look on the Linux side. I want to add part of this to the book because we're going to be updating the book right in the beginning of August. We're going to send a new version of that out. Any of you guys that ever go on LeanPub, if you buy anything on LeanPub, you get all the updates. So I have like Ned Bellavance wrote a book about Vault a while back, and I bought that. It was an excellent book, really good book. It actually helped me pass it on my first try, which I thought was good. the vault test wasn't super hard, but there's, 10 domains and you need to know them pretty well. And I had studied and I had done all this stuff, but he really helped fill in some of the gaps. So I like that. Plus, if he ever updates that book, I get updates to it for free. Well, as part of the buying it. Hey, Scott and everyone, I'd like to get your advice on something. Long story short, I get to choose what role I will go into, platform engineering or site reliability engineering. Wondering which you would choose and why. Well, JakeSec, I've had a fair amount of guys that I know that start out and come over into Linux engineering and then move off into either an SRE or a DevOps role. And I would say, in my experience, and just from me being the guy that stayed in the Linux / platform side of things, a couple things. One, a lot of the SRE and DevOps stuff is not far. It is a few steps further than what we do down in the Linux world, down in the trenches, but it's you're still going to be using the same stuff that you use now as far as Linux goes. You're still going to be doing basic engineering stuff like you already do. But what a lot of those guys add, especially site reliability engineers, they tend to add a lot of deployment stuff. So they'll do a lot more like up into the cloud, at least in the experience that I've had watching people go into those roles. And they'll do a lot with some of them will get into like the chaos engineering, the testing of hypothesis, and what happens if certain things go down. And they almost exclusively, everyone that I know has gone and had to work heavily with like CI/CD pipelines and typically Jenkins. So it's like, I mean, do you like doing that kind of stuff? That's perfectly fine work. It's heavier, especially DevOps guys. It's heavier programming than like the stuff that I do. I still do a fair amount of scripting. In fact, I wrote an Ansible playbook today. Let me show you guys this is my home lab here. This is the playbook that some of you see every morning in our Discord. This writes out all the things that have happened in the home lab overnight, right? Or over the last day. This is our little ProLUG template, right? And I tooled this over, and instead of writing out to a Discord like we do now, I have a version of this that now writes out to Slack for a company that I'm doing a contract for. Actually, let me think. Yeah, it's a company, and then under that, because we're the sub to them, and then they're contracted to the government. So it's a government project, but I can pull information out of it now and send it over to Slack, and I always obfuscate everything, so all we get out is names of systems and whether they're up and down and like basic little things. I don't send like anything terribly important. In fact, some of you, if you want to see what this looks like, this is what it looks like every morning in our Discord. Some of you guys have been here for this. Some of you have been around. It just drops in our sandbox, right? This is an automated report every day. It just tells you what's going on inside of our system, how many people have been in, how many nodes we have, if we have any that we expect to be up that are not. Oh, actually, you know what? I need to go do some work in my home lab anyway, so maybe that gives me something to do here for a little bit. I was just going to be doing the book, but I also have some stuff over here in my Werewolf environment that I was hoping... Ooh, see, my nodes are not back up. Yeah. So I need to figure out why my nodes are not doing the things that I expect them to. So, node list -a script -i IP. So let's just go to this one. So it's up, right? The node is up. It was just rebooted recently, but for some reason, it has its normal network here, but it's got a network out here. It grabbed a lease from my machine out there. Let me see. I don't know. Rocky. Oh. I forgot that these are not on Ubuntu box. Etsy sysconfig network -scripts, right? And then in here, There's my if config default. Oh, whoops, if config. Oh, we need to read me on that. I need to see why my node I think I can do. I haven't used NMCLI in a while. What is this? Show secrets, wait, general. I want to see everything. There we go. Okay. And across all of these nodes, let's go solve a quick problem that I have here. Whoops. All right. HPC cluster, those ones are still there. We're gonna go, what? What do they mean? Alright. Let's go right here. Let's just add Werewolf cluster. I just, you might say, well, Scott, why do you do everything as a, why do you do everything in your host file? Well, it's because the DHCP in my environment for like everybody else that connects into my home lab. So, oh, all right. So you have friends come over, you have whatever. You probably want DHCP on if you're going to give, like somebody asks you for the Wi-Fi password or whatever, and if you give them that and you don't have DHCP on, you might as well just be kicking them in the nuts for most users. Most users won't know what to do with them. Well, I said kicking them in the nuts. Oh, whatever. It didn't even say it. All right. So I'm going to, let's go with this, and that'll be Rocky 1. And we'll just change this to I believe that's right. And then let's vi our Etsy Ansible hosts. Oh, jeez. Hosts. And I don't have anything in here for that, but I do have my lab stuff down here, so I'll just add this and I'll just say Rocky. And we can call it Rocky Lab, but we'll just call it Rocky. And then Rocky 1, Rocky 2, Rocky 3, Rocky 4, Rocky 5. Now, I could use a wild card for that, but I'm perfectly okay with doing it like that because I like to be verbose about things. You'll find that sometimes being terse and sometimes being like brevity, like exhibiting brevity and being like, oh, I could do this thing in the shortest manner possible. That sounds good, guys. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just sometimes that's really effing hard to manage for people to come later and look at it, and you coming back later and looking at it and whatever. Yeah. Oh, JSEC, another thing too is if you go to sre.google, and if you just want to like look at what the SRE job is, like, because this honestly this is my best advice I can give you, and this is something I tell my college students. You know, you get all the way through to your third year of college, and you're sitting there telling me, hey, I have students do this. I hate this command line stuff. I hate doing this. And I'm like, well, why? You've spent 3 years of your life getting ready to do this stuff. Well, anyways, where I'm going with that is I'm not trying to berate you like I do my college students. But what I am trying to tell you is go read about the job. And if you look at this and go, SRE sounds really cool, but I read the book for 5 minutes and it just was boring me until my eyes bled, then I would not do it. Like I tell you guys, like, I love Linux. I love being at the command line and solving problems and stuff. But I've done some database stuff in labs, and I've done database stuff in like college classes and stuff. I do not want to be a database engineer. I could probably get, there's some pretty good money to be made over in the Oracle. I don't think I wouldn't get a bump now in my career. But earlier in my career I could have taken that path and gotten a bump, but I would have literally hated it. Like everything I've ever done with databases is okay, but I wouldn't want to do that all day. I wouldn't chew on database problems. And look, I don't care if somebody does. Like, that's for them. But my point is, the freest thing you can do is go spend a few minutes in any of these and be like, God, I hate doing that. But I really like this Linux stuff, so I'll just hang out down here and do all this Linux stuff. All right, by the way, so why did we do that? So now we can say Ansible Rocky, right? -m shell, -a uptime. And I should be able to hit all those boxes. I'm going to grab some water while that runs. My water's right here, so I'm not going for it. It's taking a long time to get a response. That's not good. Oh, no. What happened? Oh, there's a reason. Hold on. There's a reason that failed, guys. And I know why that failed. But let me go fix why that failed. So, why can't I run like this and directly connect to those? Well, I don't have a host key to those nodes. So, I can think of a couple of ways to do this. But one, let's ping Rocky 1. This is the first test. Can I ping it? We're redirecting over there. Hold on. I should still be getting responses. I'm fine with all of this, but is C router off for some reason? Oh, you know what? Hold on. My damn C router off? I better not turn that stupid node off. You guys see C router? He's on. Okay, he's on. Because that's the node that does all the routing in my environment. He looks, yeah, he's doing what he should. Okay. As the root user, I should be able to SSH to Rocky 1. Well, maybe. Something going on in my lab. Hold on, I gotta think about this networking. But also, let's try this. Because that happened to be the address it had. Yeah, okay. So I got a problem with my networking right now. In the lab. Because they're getting their outside address, but they're not getting whatever. You know what? Hold on. Let's go see if we can get in them from this other node here real quick. Get in over there. Okay, he can get in that way. And then let's check something. Nothing named DHCP. I thought there might have been a DHCP client. Nothing in there, huh? Let's not exactly disconcerting, it's just strange that there's nothing set there. The only default network ETH0. That's super weird. Alright, well, I don't want to spend too much time on that tonight because I got other... If I'm going to be working on stuff, I got work stuff I got to go do if I'm going to sit around and think about stuff. But suffice it to say, here's the problem, in case anybody's wondering. This is the internal network in my lab. This is my lab network, the .200. And this 11 network is my normal network. But the normal network's not really supposed to be used by these Rocky boxes. But when they came up with 4 interfaces. And one of them, this one on each of them, the ETH1, it auto-configured, well, it used DHCP to get an IP address. But then it never communicated DHCP again to the 192.168.11.1 node, which is the one that keeps and maintains the DHCP addresses. So I'm perfectly fine hitting these via this IP here internally. The internal device should always be able to get to it, right? Like my Werewolf box should... What the hell? My Werewolf box should always be able to get to that, even according to this, by the 51 here. Should be able to connect right into Rocky and 52. So it's just... It's strange how they're behaving. And it's one of those things we joke around about. You look at problems and you go, I don't know why this works. And then you're mad later. You're like, I don't know why this doesn't work. I don't know why this works the way it does. And then I don't know why it stopped working after a day. Because, well, I know that it stopped because the DH lease came up. The DHCP lease came up. But it doesn't make sense because it was never told to do DHCP on that network. That's where I'm going with that is I don't understand why it did that. So I got to probably go read the docs on Werewolf, and there's always online docs. So, and then you go find out why, what's this thing doing with DHCP? This is the hell's it trying to do? How is it? Yeah, I don't even know where to look in here. I'd have to spend a bunch of time. It's probably down in node configuration. But when you add a node, right, you give it whatever internal IP addresses, which are what it's using here, 200.52, 251. But then it went and it pulled that other network's information, which, again, it was not told to do. And I don't see a default setting for it to do that with DHCP client. So, again, very strange behavior of those nodes, and I haven't had time to dig in on it because I've been working on like work problems, so I haven't gotten to do that stuff. All right, so let's come in here. Let's add some more to the book here. We're gonna go. Whoops. Don't want that much. So we're gonna go Linux all the way down to here. This is Linux 205. We're gonna go here. If anybody wants to do the lab with me, I'll drop it in the chat. There it is over here. Boom. There you go. And I'm going to sit around and I'm going to go through a lab, and then I'll be updating this for you guys. Let me re-grab all this again. 205. This is going to become 206. Setting up our syslog. The lab link is going to be the new lab link that we just picked up over here. Boom. All right. Task, set up our syslog to send. Here's the tasks over here. To send information to a centralized location. Send information to a centralized location in your network. then filter those results so that each server has its own file or just its own storage location. Alright, given a bash prompt, complete in the allotted 60-minute time. Complete all activities in the lab. I don't like how that's worded. It's all activities in the lab. And then down here it says verify that UFW is enabled. We don't have that. We're going to say verify that our syslog is enabled. Verify that Apache, nope. Verify that the data flows from node 01. See, what are we doing over here? We're going node 01. Yep. From node 01 back to control plane. Control plane. If I could type. All right. All right, so then we'll have some reflection questions. So some of you guys did this lab with me the other day. The lab is right over here on the left. Right on the left. Your team has determined that they need to centralize logging in the environment. That's a very important thing. Hero acts. Hopefully this is useful to you. Let me see here. Thanks for the follow. I don't always catch all the follows because I'm sitting over here super busy at stuff, but yeah, hopefully this stuff's useful to you. Also, if it's morning to you, it's almost 9 here, so we're a little later. Given bash prompt that. Okay, so here's our stuff over here. You're gonna do a secure technical implementation guide for government systems, and this is the updated version because we got a pull request for this earlier from Control Byte. So that's a good catch from him. I had spelled government wrong, I think, government wrong. But in your case, it's just been good practice that your team has been losing remediation time by not being able to see logs on systems until after their backup. That's a tremendous problem, guys. I'm going to tell you right now, you don't think about it until you're trying to solve a system and figure out what's going on, and all of a sudden, you don't have logs. You don't have anything. He said, am I the only one that didn't notice CrowdStrike stuff when it came out? And that's because I can say use Arch. Yeah, we were sharing memes all over in Discord yesterday. I even made like 3 or 4 memes yesterday around that, where it's just, you know, we get in the habit of just advocating everything that we need to do as security personnel and as systems engineers in general. So, yeah, I wasn't affected by it in any way. I run both Linux and Windows all over the place. Professionally, I run 99.5% Linux. In fact, it's probably even higher than that, because if you take all my servers into account, I have thousands of Linux boxes that I'm in charge of, and those are, you know, obviously all Linux. Anything from Red Hat 7 up through Rocky 9, and then I don't have any Ubuntu anymore, but I do have some SLES still running around. SLES. I mostly noticed the CrowdStrike stuff because a bunch of my friends were complaining about having to get their call centers back up and all this other type of work that different friends of mine were doing. So, friends and colleagues, you know. Given a bash prompt, complete this. Okay, so we do this lab, right? We come down here. The labs are very walkthrough. You hit the button, it does the thing, right? But the reason I do that is so you guys can see different techniques to get along with doing different things, right? So depackage here, depackage on another node. Okay, boom. And then, is the rsyslog running? Sure. Is it running over there? Sure. Right? We got everything working. Well, CrowdSec can probably say they prevent it. Yeah, just like Mr. Meeseeks can say that they got 2 strokes off of Jerry's golf game when they got all of the strokes off of Jerry's golf game when they killed him. Right? If you guys aren't familiar with who Mr. Meeseeks is, I can't help you. But I can tell you Mr. Me Seeks. That's better. Looks a little better. But yeah, it's this idea that you can't get viruses if the computer's down. We used to joke around about the early days of like Norton and McAfee. It's like, well, if you put these things on, your system's just not going to work for crap anyways, so it doesn't really matter. They've gotten better, but they're still pretty awful. All right, I'm talking Windows systems, but so we're going to set this node up to allow. So I'm going to come over here, and it says right here to uncomment these two modules right here. This is the UDP syslog reception right here. So we're going to escape :WQ or whatever method you want to use to get out of there. And we're going to restart the syslog. When we do that, if we do an ss-ntulp, we'll see that UDP is listening for all IPv4 addresses and all IPv6 addresses, right? So right here we might say, when you ran the ss-ntulp command, what was the significance of the 0.0.0.0 and the in the output? And again, I'm telling you guys now, anybody else watching, anybody else that reads or buys the book or whatever, they have to kind of think of this themselves, and it's almost like it's more of a thought and a journaling exercise. But the answer to that is 0.0.0 in that output is all IPv4 or any IPv4, right? And then the open square bracket, : close square bracket is your any IPv6 address. It's one of the many ways to do it. Luggy, I haven't played with 0R. You know, the one that I was messing with the other day, the one that I was thinking of bringing up in the home lab is, oh god, did I close it? No, it's not that. It's not that one. I might have closed it all down. I don't even have. Yeah, I think I closed it down. I don't have the. But I was messing with Llama 3, with Olama, and I was thinking of putting that up. What I was gonna do, it's okay, Luggy boy. What I was thinking of doing was just setting up a thing so that if you guys came in here and asked questions, it would just automatically answer, kind of like how Fisherman has the bot down in our Discord that you can ask anything to. And then if anybody asked anything on stream here, it would just answer automatically, and it would just kind of pop up, you know, I don't know, maybe like here or something, and it would just answer questions the whole time for you guys. And like an old crusty Linux sysadmin or something. So I might do that. That's not super complex, but it's just something I have to spend time doing. And I've been absolutely swamped. The last 2 weekends, the last 2 weeks in general, I've worked 60 plus hours, which, if you know me, I've been doing like 40 hours and kind of chilling on a project. And then that project got over, so I went back into like our normal ecosystem at my company, and there's a whole bunch of deploys going on and a whole bunch of things for me to work on. So I've been like really busy with doing like a bunch of STIG and compliance type work, right? Like getting our stuff ready for government type systems. So, oh, Luggy, yeah, we were just talking about some people, some of my friends even have been dealing pretty heavily with that CrowdStrike stuff. Haven't gotten much sleep. Been the first Windows job for a few months. Got some major points for fixing things. Yeah, using bootable Linux and then just wiping it. Yeah, that's actually pretty smart. And a lot of people might not have thought of this, but if that affected any of your machines, even in like VMware, we used to boot to parted. So with parted, you could both resize things, or what's the? It was like an ISO image of like. The tool was not just parted. It might have been like G parted, but it was like just a basic little, almost like an old Knoppix, if you guys know, like an old little like RAM booter, and it would just boot up in, and yeah, you could wipe something like that and just reboot the box. But you could do it we would do it even in our virtual environments. So you just attach the ISO to the virtual machine in like an ESXi, like a VMware, whatever the hell the ESXi front end is called nowadays. I don't even know because I don't do as much ESXi anymore. That would have been what it was. Gparted. Yeah. Just popping boxes on, because we used to have to repartition things before patching sometimes, or we had like, because man, I don't want to go off on it too much, but if you guys have ever done like CIS benchmarks or stigging, one of the things they make you do is carve up like var temp, var log, temp, home, and those are for sure the ones that have to be on their own. They just have to be off on their own partitions. And your 1 terabyte, and well, let's even say a few years back, your 600 gig system that seemed real big, you're like, well, where am I going to put all this space? Well, nobody's ever going to be using home, and then so you give home only like 30 or 40 gigs, and then all of a sudden somebody fucking fills up home with ISOs, right? Like it's just maddening. And then you say, well, shouldn't you mount home from remote? Yeah, not all environments do that. HPC clusters absolutely do that. We mount home somewhere else, and we protect those users from themselves. Those users can do the dumbest shit ever, and we will not allow them to delete their own files. So their files are protected, multiple levels of protection from the users. It would be like if they could burn their house down and reopen the front door, and it would just be a brand new house again. We could do that for users in HPC, but not all environments are like that. We don't always want that. Dev environments and stuff at companies, that could get pricey to do. If I'm letting you stand up 300 machines a day to do testing, and then you're tearing them down, it just can be kind of anyways. Luggy Boy said, yeah, Fedora Live had DOSFS tools and NTFS fix installed, so I was able to do it quickly and consistently without having to pull any tools down. Yeah, that's good, Luggy. Yeah, if people see that you, because I was telling, who was I talking to? I was talking to so one of my cop buddies. So I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and one of my friends that is a cop, he runs a Saturday morning like a calisthenics thing for an hour, and I was down there doing it's called like fitness for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or something like that. But anyways, we were like slamming, if you guys ever seen those big slam balls, and we were like carrying heavy 40-pound things in each hands back and forth, just like a cardio thing. Anyways, he and I were talking, and he was asking me like, why is it so bad? And I said, because you have to physically go to every server. I said, there's no over the network. Like if I have over the network access, I can control 100 boxes and fix something. But once I lose that and I have to go physically to each box, that's a mess. Yeah, and Luggy, one of our guys out here in Phoenix, who he doesn't come in much. I think his thing on Twitch is like Skull Crusher or something. But anyways, he said he had like 400 and something boxes he had to get back up working yesterday for a call center. And I was like, dude, you do voice over IP? And he's like, yeah, but our systems were all down. We were all hands on deck all day. So yeah, he was slammed with that crap. Yeah, so that's it's life, right? The guys, this is the thing I tell people all the time, like systems engineers, systems administrators, we have no idea what we're gonna do tomorrow. I think I know what I'm gonna do tomorrow generally, but I really don't know. There's all kinds of things that could happen. So I've jumped to node 01. I'm on the other node now. And I'm going to look at his rsys log, and I'm going to hit Shift-G to go to the bottom. Shift-G is a nice little trick to get to the bottom. And I'm just going to add *** to send anything to control plane 514. You could use an alternate port if you want. You could also force this to be TCP by adding another asterisk or ampersand, right? But we're not going to do that. That's not. I'm sorry, guys. That's not ampersand. That's an @ sign. Ampersand is Shift-8. That's the am sign, right? That's just an @ sign there. Oh, it's late, right? Escape : WQ, and then we're going to systemctl restart our syslog so that it takes that config. And then we'll go back to control plane and we'll look at the logs and we'll see, are there node 01 logs coming in? And the answer is yes. But all the logs right now are going to the same place. So, right here. When you verify the logs are going to control plane and they're all aggregating in varlog syslog. Why might you want to do that in the enterprise? Why might you want to split them out as we do later in the lab? So the question there is like, why would you want to split those out? Like, we could just throw them all to one place, and look, this might seem like it's a lot, but what if I told you it's really easy to just say, well, grep node 01 from varlog syslog, and I could get all of the node 01 stuff, and I can filter on that and say, well, I only want the you know, X, I only want grep for PID, you know, or grep for let's say 12004. I happen to know that's the PID I'm looking for, and I say, okay, I found that one line, because maybe I know if that starts repeating, then that's going to be a problem, and then I can start to look at how often it occurred, and there's all kinds of other little sneaky things that we can do. If we let this run for a while, I'll show you one here. So if you want to be like, you tell me, hey Scott, I want to learn how to parse log files. Let's look at this and say, okay, so we've got like this container D, right? So container D is doing all this stuff in the environment, right? But I want to see how many times. So watch this. I'm going to say awk, right? And maybe in my awk here, I know that we're dealing with maybe those first 3 fields. So actually, let's do it. If they were different days, it would be easier. But let's say that we concede that they're all the same day. They're all July 21st, and we could even verify that. We can grep, and we could just go like this, Jul 21, right? So we know that they're all the 21st. But then what we can do is we could do something like this. We can say awk, and let's say that we know that this is all container D stuff. So then I want to carve up the, let's say that we wanted to know just things that happened by the hour. So hold on, date right here, 3:50. Oh, we're about to get stuff in the next hour, so that'll be even better. So I'm gonna grep July like this, and then I'm gonna do something here where I say awk print awk dash capital F colon, right? And I'm going to say print $1, and you say, well, Scott, that's going to give you that same thing. It's just going to only give you this first column here with the field delimiter of colon. I say yes, but I don't actually care. I just want to sort and then unique dash C. I want it to count them for me. So I'm going to have it count by the hour everything in July 1st that it has in this log for container D out of node 01. And there's 23 events at the first hour, the July 2103, and there's 1 event so far in the July 2104. So what might happen is you go and you look through some logs or something and you parse it down like this, where now I'm counting by the hour, and I could take the July 21st off, so then it would just get all of July maybe. And then I could count real quick, oh, hey, this happens very often late at night, but it doesn't happen at other times of day. What else is happening late at night? Oh, we're batching stuff. We start to like look at the system like forensically, and we start to think about what the system was doing when those things are happening. And it's almost like you're a detective saying, well, what happened here and what happened here, and then you're asking questions and walking around like Stabler and Benson, right? Who knows who Stabler and Benson are? I've been watching too much of that damn show. There was one, I was watching one today earlier that had Rob Williams in it. But anybody know what show that is? I'll leave it to you guys to Google it if you want. All right, but here now, oh look, now we've got 8 events after in this hour. And first off, I need to know, right? So I do a date here and I go, well, I just started this hour and I've already got 8. This is not, obviously not a complete hour, or whatever it is just started, right? And if I had longer logs, these boxes have only been up a few minutes, right? They've only been up 45 minutes, so they don't have tremendous amount of logs for us to go parse through. We'd have to generate some. Yeah, too big to fail. I don't know how they didn't catch that update, honestly. Yeah, John Doe, you probably know over on the YouTube side, you probably know why I say Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu every time. Why I clearly say the full Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu every time. Because people just giggle if you say BJJ. That's what they do. They just giggle. So, all right, anyways. We did this. We did that. We looked at the var syslog. Creating operating system. X, you said, are you creating operating system? No, I'm running through labs, X, that we have that are available for you guys out on Killer Coda. There are thousands of labs out there that different people have made. We happen to just maintain 59 of them over here in the ProLUG, and we try to get people ready to do Linux professionally, right? We get people try to stop being amateurs at this. Amateur doesn't mean you're not good at something, guys. Amateur just means you don't get paid for it. And we try to take you guys and get you guys into doing this stuff professionally, right? I think many of you that want to go make that jump and do this stuff as a pro, I think in a lot of people's cases it's just confidence. And then the confidence is, can I fix any problem? Can I sit around and chew on something and read man pages and docs until I get something to work? And I can answer for sure that most of you can. That's kind of just something you got to start wanting to do, right? So these labs are designed to get your hands on the system and get you some confidence and stuff. But anyway, so we're going to go look in the main node here, and we're going to add in this information from the file. And this was updated, by the way, by one of our guys. This used to say ampersand and then a tilde, and now it says stop, because that's the more modern way. You don't get the errors anymore. So I'm going to hit escape :WQ, and on control plane we have now written this file that is going to, and you say, well, what the heck's that file doing, right? What the file's doing is filtering down the logs that are coming into the server and saying, here's a template. The template's called remote logs, and the template is going to go to var log host name, so it'll make a host name for each node that comes into it, messages.log. And then it says if you're not from, so this is not equal, so sorry, from host IP is not equal to 127.0.0.1. So this means, what this means in plain English is, if you're not me, if you're not my home IP address, 127.0.0.1 is always control plane's home. Every node thinks that's its home. Then we're going to apply to you the remote logs template. So all these logs that come in from somewhere else go get chucked over there. That's what it's going to do. And then we finish our little if, right? So that's not quite bash. That's just some kind of rsyslog config standard, this thing. It's not quite bash. It's close, but it's not. All right, and then we do systemctl restart the log, so it takes that log configuration. And then I should be able to, look, there's no log yet. I waited too long. Or I didn't wait long enough. And now I'm going to run it now, and now there is data in there. The data are flowing, right? And now if I sit here and watch for a little bit, node 01 is going to keep dumping logs in there from whatever things are coming out to its rsyslog. So let's see. So then the question here is, why do you think it wasn't there? And the answer is, well, because it wasn't created yet. It gets created on the fly by the rsyslog daemon. Yeah. Okay. So tail-f varlog syslog, and then we say check, and then we say, okay, look at you learning Linux security. You're doing all this stuff. All right. So did I stop? Hold on. So did I do? Yeah. Okay. Apparently I didn't ask. So there were reflection questions. Okay. So I didn't add any of these other things. We just got down to the reflection questions, and that was it. So that's good. Luis Codes, hopefully this stuff's useful to you. Thanks for the follow. I don't know why Ranger didn't pop up there, but normally Ranger lets you know that we're all out back doing Linux. So, all right. So that was that part of the lab. I'm gonna come over here, and I swear that we did something else in the Linux labs. I'm gonna have to search for this. I think there's something else in here that we had put together or otherwise done. All right, no, that's fine. Gotta go check over here. Got people hopping into Discord. That's always good. Yeah, guys, we're over 2,200 people now. We're almost 2,300, and I'm hoping that we get. I mean, it's slowed down a little bit, so it probably won't be quite at 3,000, but I'd like us to get close to 3,000 by the time we get to our 5-year mark. That would be a nice little goal. I don't think we'll quite get there, but we're getting closer, right? So, 5-year mark is in 2 weeks. All right, let's go look at. We done all this stuff, so that's good. I had some. There's Ranger. Ranger's laying down downstairs in case anybody wanted a Ranger check. This environment almost looks like we want, and then it just busted even worse right there, but that's fine. It still tells us what we want. It just doesn't look right. Let's pull up. Let's get our. So I had been meaning to get this lab stuff here fixed up the way that I wanted to. So let me pull up. Let's go check some things here. So in this box, can I SSH to 192.168.200.51, which is Rocky 1? Is that box available to me? And if it's not, as it's not seeming to be, let's go see why. So we're stuck at attempting to connect there, mainly because ping is getting routed around in my network. Chris Wright over on YouTube said, you got a good course on how to set up IP tables in Windows along with sysctl. I don't know if that would be a thing. IP tables is being deprecated in Linux, right? So people aren't really using it anymore. You got NF tables in most of your Red Hat nowadays. But yeah, IP tables, I wouldn't even know how to set that up on the Windows side, unfortunately. So, if it even existed over there. So, what does it say? Have courses on set up IP tables. Yeah, I think there's some stuff. If you go to Killer Coda, there's a fair amount of stuff in here that you guys can go to. There's Linux stuff. There's Git stuff. I don't know. We could look for IP tables. I'm not sure if anybody has just strictly IP table stuff. Looks like there's some workshop out there. I have no idea what goes on in any of these. Yeah, I have no idea what's in any of these ones. you got some good little stuff for you guys to play with in there. Look at all that. All kinds of good stuff in there. Hey, non-major nerd, how's it going? We are looking at just some system stuff. Somebody asked about if there was IP tables. I don't know strictly. Like, there might be stuff in some of these for IP tables. There are tool labs. Dronko. I don't know if there's any reverse engineering type stuff. I don't know the full scope of everything. Most people come in here and they show you how to use a tool, how to configure it, how to get your hands on it, and how to get it built in an environment. That's what most Killer Coda labs are, that are front page stuff. I don't know about all this other stuff. There's all kinds of stuff out there, but I don't know what it all looks like. And I mean, we can go look at, you know, is there any data, like data, just look for data. And there may be tools and configurations that'll get you started in that, but I'm not 100% sure. Non-major nerd, what board games were you playing? You guys have seen my board game wall, right? Let me see if I have a good version of it. Hold on. This is okay. So this is the wife and her dad built this, and this is our game room here. So we got a quote. So I have a buddy who what he does is he sells barnwood in Phoenix. This is his job. He runs the company. He owns the company, and he goes back east and he gets paid by farmers to tear down their old barns. He puts it on flatbeds, brings it out here for pretty cheap, especially since they're paying him to tear their stuff down, and he sells it and makes an absolute killing on it out here in Phoenix for just old barnwood. He sells it for like hundreds of dollars. Yeah, it's wild how much he makes. But anyways, I got a quote from him, from his company, like some of his project managers, for 5 boards across here, right? So we were going to get 5 boards. They were going to be kind of like this nicer oak. And then what happened was they come back and they're like, yeah, they're about 1100. And I go, okay, 1100's, you know, that's pretty good. I get a good price out of here. Well, come to find out, they meant 1100 per board. And we're like, hoo, 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 hoo. So you guys want like, and it was about 7,700 was the quote, not even put together and mounted. So the wife went out and spent like $1,000 getting these boards here. And then her and her dad painted them and put the piping together. Yeah, it was going to be like an obscene amount of cost. And then this is not even, this is like half filled. Hold on. Let me go find, because I have better pictures of that, but I need to post. Let me see if I can post it. Hold on a second. Let me go see what I got here. From the old camera when this got made. Hold on a second here. It's before Christmas. Oh, it's been a while. Gosh, she made this thing a while ago. Let me post up. It's before all this. Hold on. We got a better picture of that. Hold on, I'm gonna go grab. Give me a second here, guys. Oh, non-major. I'll post it in the off-topic thing here in a second. Yeah, you can do that. Or down in this one. Oh, this one was, yeah, this is off-topic. This is an off-topic. Typically. Hold on, I'll post this up here in a second. because that's what the kids. Let me see. Trying to find some good ones of when, like, because when she first made it, it kind of I took some pictures like up close so you guys could see kind of like what they did, because they made it like it's super heavy duty. We don't want kids climbing on it, but like kids could climb on it without damaging it. See if I can send that to Discord. Huh. Swear I don't normally have this much problems with my stuff. Oh yeah, wait till you see if Faint Calf will send one. Faint Calf has he's got a huge collection. I mean, I think I have about 400 games, but he's got me beat by almost an order of magnitude. Oh, there's Discord. Hold on. I was like, where the hell's my Discord at? I'm gonna post this in off topic. Where the hell? Literally never seen this kind of format here. There we go. Off topic. Boom. Oh, there it goes. That was when we were playing Clank. But hold on, I want to get a little closer to that. I've got some closer pictures of that when they first built it. There we go. So that's... Hold on, guys. I'm sending this over. Off topic. Boom. And then one more. Hold on. One more. This one. Just so you guys can kind of see like how they kind of put it together. Off topic channels. So that's... And that was before she even went in and like she painted these. So even these are dark now. But like, they wanted it to kind of be like a little bit of a rustic look. But also like all the kids' games are down low. And then all the like more other games are upstairs. But yeah. We're big fans of games. All my like difficult games. Oh, I don't have a good one here. I don't have a good picture on any of these, but like this is when it was very unpopulated. All my like hard like games are up top. And when I say hard games, what I mean by that is like I don't like you can't play them with casuals. And I don't mean that to say that like in a bad way, like, oh, you're a casual. What I mean by that is like if the four of us aren't going to sit down and play this game seriously, we should just do something else. Because like some of those games are so effing hard that if all of you are not like seriously paying attention, you're gonna just get the floor wiped with you. I have a game called Xeno Shift. This game will wipe the floor with you, even if you all are paying attention. This game right here. This game is disgustingly hard to win at. If you guys want to go play a hard, like if you're like, oh, I need a hard game, like I just beat all my games. And me and my gaming team, we beat all the games. This game is like disgustingly hard. Like even if you're all paying attention, you all know tactics well. This game's very hard to win at. So yeah, we mostly play. I like to play for fun. I'm a big fan of. I've got some games that I like. Games where they're not trying to kill each other, like and beat each other, like Catan and stuff. Like I'm like, I could do that stuff at work if I want to do that stuff, you know. Yeah, we play. We have some games that we just mess around on, as well. So I'm a big fan of like for people that are like drinking and stuff, we'll play Castle Panic because everybody plays on the same team. That's pretty fun. But yeah. Faint Calf is the guy to talk to about games. He's big into that. Real into that kind of stuff. So. I don't know why. Let's go jump into... Why is C route... Well, that's weird. There's something wrong with that. But we'll go here. It might be this. Huh. That's weird. Why can't I get into C router? Nobody's coming to this box for quite some time. So how is... Huh. Oh, this one is, hold on. This box is... Well, hold on. That doesn't make any sense then. If he can get... 192.168 200.25, that's how I use to connect over there. Then this one should be able to go to 200.51 with no problem. Oh, hold on. Let's try, I don't know, Scott at. Let's make sure it's not, that we just don't have, root allowed to log in. Although root should be able to log into them. Pandemic's good. 5-minute dungeons is good. I've seen that. There's a really good non-major nerd. I've got a game that's really good called One Deck Dungeon. I haven't played that one in a while. It's a really good solo game, but you can also play it with one other person pretty easily. This is a super fun game. It's just all around fun. One Deck Dungeon. If you've never seen this, it's what it is you play the game in essentially one deck of cards. You've got your characters in front of you, and you've got like these events or monsters that happen through the deck, and then you roll just a shit ton of dice. Shuffle dungeons, nice. You just roll a whole bunch of dice, man. It's just a big. You get a whole bunch of dice, and then the goal is you got to roll high enough dice or have high enough modifiers to cover all of these things, or you take damage as you take out these different pieces through the dungeon. So it's almost like you're just trying to shield yourself through attrition and not burn out and die by the end. And then there's counters all over the board, and it's just an all-around fun. Oh yeah, now they are all D6, so they're not like some of our other dice collections. But then you've got these different characters, and it's really fun. If you play it as a one player, your characters are strong. Like this is what the warrior looks like in one player. You got a lot of dice. But if you play two player, you flip it over, and you're slightly weaker, but then hopefully your buddy picks something that complements what you need to get through that. Yeah. It's kind of a fun way to do that. So that's one that I kind of recommend to people. Why can't I get... So here we're going to come back over here. We'll go in there. 52, exit, 51. Go in there, and we're just going to do tail-f on var log messages. Go tail dash like 30 on var log secure. And did we get anything trying to even come in? We did get something from 160, which is the way that root was trying to come over. Was it would have been redirected from port 160, which is fine. 160 is the C router's external interface in my environment. But it didn't come through. So this is what we're going to do here. We're going to tail dash F it. Right? And then we come down here and give ourselves some space. And then we jump into another machine, and then we SSH to, just Scott at 192.168.200.51, which is that box. And we come over here and we see, is it at least even getting the connection attempt on that side? I don't think it's going to, but so my routing is busted in this environment. And my routing is done through IP tables, funny enough. I just use the IP forwarding to do it all. But that's weird because it works for the other stuff no problem. So let me see something. Hold on. Can I ping? I can ping that way. But now I can't ping back. Isn't that weird? I know what the next hop is. The redirect should be fine. It's the fact that it's not. This can ping out and get a response right back, no problem. This cannot. Going back the other way. That's super weird. This was all working a couple weeks ago. I just haven't looked at it in a while, and now it's all busted. So, oh, that's Home Labs for you guys. You get everything working, and then everything's busted later on you. So, all right. What do we got? I'm probably not going to be. I don't know if I'm going to be on tomorrow. I got a lot of work to do for work type stuff, and then I'm going to be driving. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday out to one of our facilities in Chandler, which is about an hour away. It's about a 45-minute commute, maybe almost 50, depending on traffic. So it's not the worst drive ever, but it's not great either. There's Patna. How's it going, Patna? Hopefully everything's going good over there. You can use your Prime anywhere, but you chose to use it here. Now, I only know one Patna in real life. So I wonder sometimes if that's the same Patna. That's funny. Yeah, no, we're just hanging out on here. We're just I was working on labs a little bit. We were checking on Ranger Dog. How's Ranger doing? He has not moved since stream started, right? That's Ranger for you. Just chilling downstairs. Home lab looks fine. Environment looks good. We've had a the usual amount of people trying to get into our system. Actually, that's kind of low for the last 6 hours. That's a pretty low amount right there. Typically we have about that many right there per hour trying to get into our box, trying to get into our server. So, well, nice, Patna. I appreciate that. You're always welcome to hang out here. We just normally I'll be on stream, but I didn't want to move my green screen today, and I'm just like, I'll just go cameraless. We're not really doing much of anything serious. Saturday nights I don't normally stream anyways, so this is just kind of like bonus. Major Nerd, speaking of your home labs, I'm on the fence of buying some Dell thin clients as a home lab starter. eBay 5, probably mostly network stuff, VPN, NAS, and media serving, nothing too intense. Yeah, non-major nerd, that's pretty good. That's probably as much as you need. If you have an old system, a lot of people just turn old systems into NAS systems anyways, because it's super easy to do. But I do, like, I tell people, like, if you don't want to spend a couple $100 getting stuff, God, the cloud is just, there's so many, like, good free options out there nowadays to at least get, like, started out there for people that want to do that. Oh, WD share space. Okay, so you already got something that can probably do at least iSCSI for you. Once you have, like, iSCSI set up in your environment, iSCSI, that's so funny. My non-technical PowerPoint closed captioning over here doesn't know what iSCSI is, but yeah, if you can do at least that in an environment, then you can start to do failover even between your clusters, and then you have way more in an environment there than you ever probably need for, like, a home lab. But it is cool to be able to do that kind of stuff. Yeah, iSCSI, that's what it looks like. Yeah. What it is it's over your network. You can share that device. So you probably have it. Let me see, what's the name of that? I don't even know what these are, but I mean I know what it is. Like I knew it was some type of NAS device, but we can go read the tech specs on it. Right? There's probably a technical sheet for your thing, and you'd want one that was specific for your device, like if you know exactly which one. And then you come in here and you just go, does it do iSCSI? This one doesn't say it does. It doesn't say, yeah, it doesn't have it in there. But typically, I only want results with iSCSI. Yeah, so it looks like some people might blow it away so that they have that capability, you know. And then WD looks like they have some different talk, like maybe some write-ups on it. But the point is, yeah, once you have the iSCSI, that's typically how it's written, lowercase I and then SCSI. What you can do with that then is you can have that be your backend storage. So like in my home lab, I don't show this part of it a lot, but these devices, if you go look at any one of my devices, the storage, these are disks in the front of each of these machines. The storage, they are RAID arrays. They've got some decent size to some of them. This is one of my smaller ones, I think. But you know, 1.1 terabytes and 2.7 terabytes. So that one's close to like 3 and some almost 4 terabytes of data total. But it's local. There's no sharing between these three devices, which means if this one goes down, all of these nodes are no longer reachable in my network, right? That's what that means. But when you have a network share like an iSCSI type service, each of these can be back-ended to that. And if one of these goes down, the nodes, the individual hosts can come up, or the guests can come up on different hosts, which is kind of really nice. So that's why you do want that. So, you know, if you go build one of those non-major, make sure you're looking for that. That's something because it's good to understand that high availability stuff, because that's something that's valuable to you out in the industry. So most of our home lab stuff doesn't have that capability, because there's some costs to getting that functionality in your systems. Like in my home lab, I just accept that if one of these goes down, I'm going to be rebuilding it and getting the nodes back that I can, you know. But other than that, yeah, non-major. If you don't have that, it's fine. You just have one device that can do one device. It's like a one-to-one mapping instead of like a one-to-many mapping. Yeah, it's something to think about. Yeah, and you know, I don't have any talks directly on like storage stuff. I've been telling the guys for a long time that I'll put some together. But most of my big data storage is with what we call like parallel file systems, and I use a lot of like GPFS and this tool called Luster to just, and then now I'm using Weka a lot. Yeah, Weka is a tool, and just giving huge back-end storage spaces to clusters where all the nodes see the same storage, and then you can, like, a node's ephemeral, man. If I just kill a node and bring a node back up, nobody gives a shit. It's everything's just part of the cluster. That's why I've been building all the werewolf out in my home lab, because that's what I'm doing a lot out in the industry. I'm doing a fair amount of this werewolf stuff. So where's this? Hold on. Let's go look at my... These nodes are all still not coming up correctly. I'm gonna go play with their network overlays. So when I do their network overlays, I'm gonna turn off ETH1. I'm gonna make sure that ETH1 does not come up on these boxes, because I do not want them grabbing anything but these IP addresses. Again, remember I told you they went in and somehow they got this other network. I don't even... I mean, I understand how they got it. They have other additional networks in my environment. I just didn't... They're not configured in any way to go grab DHCP. So it's super strange that they did that. It must have been in like the... Anyways, let's go look. Let's go look in the overlay. Let's go look at their overlay stuff. Alright, Werewolf Vision, got it. Where's their overlay stuff? Stateless provisioning, we know that. That's what we're doing. Network, we set up the network. We have a DHCP internally. We can see that here. So here's like our internal networking that we allow. And here's our DHCP. You'll notice that is 192.168.200. The .11 is on the other network, so I don't want them messing with that anymore. So let's go look at, here's our installations if we want to download and add new things. So we've got all that. We've got all that. We've got the configuration of this setup. Here's the Werewolf config right here. And you'll notice that I turned some stuff on. Specifically, I turned off DSA. I didn't want DSA keys even being used. We export home and opt, right, so that I can build labs and send them out there. Hey, Inside Sources, how's it going? We are just messing around and doing some werewolf stuff. But this is my internal network. There's my 192.168.200.25. That's the Rocky system. Werewolf is full nodes and it's stateless, whereas Kubernetes is just an orchestrator for containers. So like Werewolf, you're building real full operating systems out, and Kubernetes tends to be container based. And Kubernetes is simply an orchestrator for your container environment, whereas Werewolf is a cluster manager for a whole, like I have real systems started in Werewolf that I really power down and bring back up, and they get a full kernel call. They get a full like grub 2 with the full kernel, and they get a init RAM FS, and all the things that happens with a full booting of a real Linux system is what's happening inside of Werewolf. So I need to find, so we're good here. So here, let's go to defaults. Where's this defaults at? It's probably in, there's a nodes.conf, and it says that here's my nodes, and here's their defaults. I got all that. Good. That was nodes up here. And then down here it says file not generated. Defaults.conf configures values for when there are none specified. For example, if a system does not have a runtime overlay specified, it'll get it from the default node. Okay. So is that in here? And if there is, where is it? We have iPixie is fine. Grub's fine. Keys are fine. Alright. So where is this shit? Hold on. So I know where that is. Defaults.conf. Says if it doesn't exist, the following rules are compiled into Werewolf at build time. Okay, I'm fine with generic and WWINIT. Those are the runtime overlays and the system overlays. You can add multiple runtime overlays to our systems. All right, so now I need to figure out how to get these overlays working, right? The overlays are a big part of this, so WWInit. Where the fuck is that at? It says it's in WWInit and then Werewolf init.d, which will set up those. We can have host overlays. Oh, I think I know where these are. Hold on. No? We can overlay edit. Okay, that's fine. But I need to figure out where they're at. Back here again. I need to find out where the FN things are stored. I know all about container exec and getting in there. That's not a big deal. I just need to find... I guess I can do this. So watch this. So www.ctl container list should show me all my containers, right? And I think I have 3 of them. Yeah, Rocky 8, Rocky 9, and Rocky 9 Lab. Rocky 9 Lab is the one that's actually on my node. So if I do like www.ctl node list, Rocky 1-A, grep-I for profile, and container. There's my Rocky 9 Lab. Yeah, so I can build that. And then I should just be able to go Rocky Linux 9 Lab, and then bin bash, right? And then now I'm in there. So I'm in the container before it's out actually pushed any systems. But in here, there's still nothing. So something's happening to this later. Oh, by the way, that'll rebuild, and then when I reboot those containers, it'll go grab everything. But I just don't know where the fuck it's getting. Oh, you know what? Hold on a second. Let's go look at something. Let's check something out on this node. Luggy said he haven't heard about it, but I've been a loop for the last few years. Last worked it on-prem cloud distributed hypervisor. Yeah, this Werewolf there's a specific use case for it, and it's mostly in the high-performance compute world. I don't think Werewolf is, like, it might not be mainstream because there's other tools and the types of workflows companies use, Kubernetes works well with, especially with developers and stuff. This works really well. This Werewolf type stuff works really well with like research computing, where the users just need everything to be the same across huge swaths of very big systems that all do the same thing. So, all right, let's see, Werewolf, and then I do not see. Let's go back. Okay, so we know how overlays work, but where are they defined at? Yeah, we know that they're called system or WWINIT. That's fine. We got that. We need to know where the hell they're at. Yeah, I don't know where the hell they have. I have no idea where the fuck they're keeping these templates and overlays by default. It's like they have all this stuff, but nothing tells me where it is. And I know where it is in my other cluster, but it's not in that same spot in this cluster. Yeah, I have no idea where the hell. We only have the default profile. See all that stuff. That's not the problem. The problem is where the hell is it keeping it? Yeah, that's not that doesn't have the overlay stuff. The overlay stuff is var something, I think. Somebody just give me a path. Just need a path. Anything. Yeah, it's not in here. It's not in these ones. I know it's in werewolf.config. We were just in there. It's not in there. See what's using up all the space on this box. It's got to be in here somewhere. Hold on. Alright, I'm going to cheat. I was going to look at my other environment. Hold on. Hold on. It better not be in this fucking... God damn it. That's where it is. Varlib Werewolf. God. Alright, anyways, in here, here's my overlays. Let's go look at my... And here are my... Actually, we're going to go into network. So what's this going to do? It's going to give it that generic, and that's all it did was give it the generic loop back up here, which we have. And then this one we've seen pushed out. It is the ETH0. Right, so we've gotten this one on the machines. No, it wasn't. The WW in it didn't exist, unfortunately. I just got to remember that all the crap I want is down in varlib werewolf. This is all the overlay pieces that you can configure, you can add, you can extract things out of here, and then you rebuild the overlays, and then you can apply more overlays. Your images can have multiple different overlays based on what you're doing with your systems, which is one of the things that makes this powerful. What I'm trying to remove is I don't want this to go and grab, when the system comes up, anything other than the one interface. So let me see. So this will go and this will read. Let me see. It'll configure IPv6. It'll set these devices up. Let's make sure. Oh, hold on. It'll give them bonding if we want it to. I just want to see where it's getting. Type Ethernet. Auto connect is true. Not InfiniBand, so it's good. I just need to make sure. Alright, yeah, that's fine. We don't want it to make this. Boot proto static, so that's important. We always want the boot protocol to be static. That's good. You know what? And it might not even be down in here. It might be. So that was the WW init. Then there's the generic overlay, right? And they both get applied, which makes this even more of a hassle. That's all fine. I want that. Nothing in here. All right. Is that a udev rule? This is constructing an if config configuration up here, because you can tell that that's very much an if config for, like, just the fact that it's got all these over here. But mainly I wanted to make sure there was no boot protocol for DHCP, because again, these boxes are popping up and they're doing DHCP on a network I don't want them to, and it's just not. You know what? Hold on. F this. Let's just do this real quick. Let's just go to Rocky. Let's go to his networking. Let's turn Rocky off for a second. Shut him down. Shut him down. And we're gonna go here. I can't do them all together. Wait till he's down. We're just gonna delete these interfaces. I don't even want these interfaces there. I want to see what so we're trying to find out what the behavior is of this, right? Like, this is one of the things where if I don't understand the behavior, I'm not going to ever be able to change it. So I'm trying to understand the behavior. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with the nuclear option, and I'm going to make this box start up without those other interfaces. So let's see if it comes up, and it should grab its interface. It should come up. And then over here, we have this guy, right? Where's he at? Nope. So I'm going to leave him here. Let that boot up here for a second. It's going to boot up over here on the right configuration. You're going to see him grab his configuration. We'll go here. We'll say while true, do this sleep 3 done. So we'll let this boot and it'll come up into its init RAM FS. I'm going to take a real quick break. I'll be right back. We'll let that run for a second. You watch that box boot, and then we'll see if we get it to respond the way that we want to. We see it booting up with its init RAM FS and starting, but we need to see if there's any errors now. And then we need to see if we can get some configurations on it. So that'll be next. Build some labs for it, do some fun stuff with it. So, all right, take a break real quick. I'll be right back. I'm not gonna start the timer, but I'll start it. Hold on. I do this for my college students so they know when I'm around or not. So break and get a drink. We'll go 5 minutes. So feel free to take a break. I'll be right back. Let's watch to make sure that that system stays communicating, because it dropped earlier after I rebooted. Oh, that went to red, didn't it? Look at that. 2 minutes in, it went red. So let's see why that happened. So it doesn't know. That's weird. And then let's go to... It's only got the one address, which is what I want. So that is correct. That part worked fine. But why this system is not seeing it when that's literally its IP address? Let me get this other stuff out of the way here. Sorry, I'm missing chats over here. Mocha Tech plays. Hopefully this stuff's useful. Oh, we had a raid. Guys, I had walked away for a second. I apologize for missing the raid, but I'm still technically on break, but I hopped back in to see why this node inside of Werewolf is not coming up right. Yeah, hey, how's it going? Hopefully you guys had a good stream. I am not working super hard over here tonight. It's I don't normally stream on Saturday nights, but the wife is at a scrapbook retreat doing scrapbooking, so she sent me a video call earlier. She is in a room full of gosh, there's like 50 women in there like doing scrapbooking. Which, hey, if that's what you want to do, that sounds like the life. But for me, I just want to hang out here and do my computer stuff, right? So, all right. So why the F? So here's the thing. 192.168.200.51 is the way that this node is known. We do wwctl node node show dash A for Rocky 1, and then we grep dash I for IPv, right? Oops. Maybe I'm doing this wrong. I swear we were just doing this earlier. Oh, there it is. All right. Grep dash IP. All right. So anyways, there we see his IP address. We see that. So if I cat Etsy, oh, hold on a second. Hold on a second. This was generated that one time. Hold on. There's a configure command. Oh, this is embarrassing. Well, let's see how Ranger's doing. Ranger is not moved. Hold on. Hold on. I didn't even grab a drink, but let me see. When we initialize all of Werewolf, configure, we're gonna do a configure all. Let's do dash all. We're gonna let this build everything, and then we'll cat Etsy host. Oops. There we go. Well, that's a billion times easier. So that's what the problem was, guys. All right. I was trying to give this tool the benefit of the doubt, guys. It's a cluster manager. All right, man. Okay. Just because it's cluster manager doesn't mean it can do everything. I had incorrectly assumed that when you added and removed nodes from this cluster manager, that it went and did its own management of its host file. But it does not do that automatically. In fact, if you look here, these are the ones from when I first built this a long time ago. Like I mean, this was earlier this month we were messing around in here. These were like fake systems that didn't really exist, and they're gone now. But they were the only thing in my Etsy host file. So that's insane to me. But anyways, now those are up. And I can reach them, so that's good. 50 women doing that, 38 dudes doing this. Good times. Yeah, inside sources. She sent me like a video call. We were talking, and she was like showing her camera around, and it's like, and I mean, like, my wife's not that old, but like there was a fair amount of older people in there doing scrapbooking. Now, that being said, my wife also has her own scrapbooking room at our house, so her office room is scrapbooking and dolls that I think are super creepy. And she gets mad when I call her dolls super creepy, but they're a little creepy. They're a little creepy. If I took a picture and sent them to you guys would be like, there's no way you're sleeping in the same house as all those dolls. And I'm like, yeah, trust me, there's like 2 or 3 doors between us at all times. Oh no, inside sources. I closed that door earlier, so it better not happen like that. If I went in there and took a picture, you guys would be like, oh, that is kind of... But anyways, all right, so look, we got this. We're in here. We got this. So let's SSH to Rocky 2. All right. So we don't have to go the dramatic route that I was about to on all these. But this doesn't solve this. Like, why can that work? Right? That works just fine. But 51, that now works. Wait a minute. All right, hold on a second. Oh, geez, hold on. This is... What the heck? Are these... All right, that's acceptable. So I can get in. So, if I can get in, and from my jump box here, I've got these pieces. The next part to do is to point. We've got a file to edit, and we've got some keys to add. And if we do that, we should be able to jump across from our external connection. So let's do that real quick. We'll one-off this, and then we'll add it to the GitHub later. So we've got a GitHub that does all of our stream setup, so that you guys can jump in and get on nodes and that kind of stuff, and work in the lab. Does it not know how to say GitHub? Oh, there it goes. G-I-T-H. Oh yeah, there you go. It's a Microsoft tool. I think you guys would know how to spell it. Since it's a Microsoft tool I'm using to do the closed captioning, right? So, fun fact, it's the only Microsoft tool still working right now. I'm just kidding. That's not 100% true. GitHub's still up. and GitHub and my PowerPoint right here are up. By the way, if anybody's wondering like how I'm doing those closed captions right there, it's a PowerPoint in the background, and their closed captioning is actually pretty good. It can't do things very well like 192.168.11. It can't do that very well. Oh, look at that. It's like 90210 or something. But it it can do some things, but it can't do a lot. There's a node which is connected to Werewolf Docker. Sorry. No. So Chris, what happened? Let me show you guys, because yeah, that's actually a really good point. Somebody asked over on the YouTube side. They said, so what is this Rocky? Let me show you guys what Rocky is. Hold on. Node status. So I'm a little perturbed by that. Those should be coming up now. Let me I wonder if there's a way to reset that. But anyway, so the point is these are back up, right? These nodes are back up, so this should start being cleared. So no, what they are is they are nodes defined inside of a tool called Werewolf, and then when a system boots, these are actual guest operating systems inside of a XCPNG device, just like all these other boxes are. But when they come up, instead of just booting to a disk, like if I take this box and I reboot it right now, I'll reboot my Rocky here. Just gonna reboot him. What's gonna happen here is he's gonna pull. He doesn't have a stateful disk. He doesn't have a disk to, when the system powers on, does its power on self-test, goes and finds the master boot record of a disk in the operating system, or a disk on the device, and it searches for a master boot record, and then that master boot record points over to Grub, and Grub says, hey, here's your init RAM FS, and call this and start to boot. It doesn't have any of that. It's stateless. So what it does instead is it comes up and it calls, it uses iPXE, and it goes and it says, hey, I don't know who I am, and it does the boot P, which became DHCP protocol, and says, hey, I'm this MAC address out here. Can anybody here tell me what my IP address is? And what happens is my system finds an IP address out on the network, and then it boots as, in this case, Rocky 1, and it goes and it pulls down a kernel image and an init RAM FS image, and then it's going to start. What's going to happen is it's going to start and boot, but it doesn't have a stateful disk image. Over here, if we're watching this, if I just go back to I'll just bang while. Hold on, bang while. It'll be my last while. We're going to watch it boot up over here on the left. And then on the right, as it comes up, we'll see this hopefully come up to a running box. And then we had a follow of Raquel Zhao Dev. Hopefully this stuff's useful to you. Yeah, you want to see Ranger? How's Ranger doing? Hold on. It's not Killer Coda. It is... There's Ranger. Hold on. There's my dog Ranger. He's downstairs. He's got 2 beds. He's a very comfortable dog. Don't look like he's not comfortable. It's 111. Well, it was 111 Phoenix today, but it is only 73 downstairs. My dog is quite comfortable. So that's your Ranger cam redeem right there. All right, let's see. This went to 120 seconds earlier, and then I couldn't communicate with it anymore. I don't think that's going to be the case anymore. So let's see if we can, let's see. I think this box is going to be fine now. These other boxes haven't been seen in quite some time. 16,000 and some change seconds. It's a lot. I think I rebooted them yesterday. But we'll see if it gets past 120 without, actually, no, and while we're at it, let's just kick all these boxes over. Because that's one of the nice things about, these environments. Whoops. Rocky 3 to Rocky 5. Reboot. Yep. Let them all reboot. They're all going to do the same process. We can watch them all boot through, but really once you see one work, all the other ones are going to work. And then my goal with these, now see it's yellow. It's already turned yellow, which means it's going to turn red again. So it's not. Have I seen pacemaker cluster management tool? No, I haven't seen that inside sources. No. Is it, does it work well? Yeah, this is going to go red. Because it's not, what the that's fine. I don't care if it goes red there as long as it comes back up and works, if we're being honest. Which, honestly, they were all working. So, really, me fixing this was really just trying to get it to be clean. Yeah, see, look, it turned yellow. So, see, first came up. They're coming up. You can see them going through their different environments. That's actually kind of cool to watch all the boxes boot over here and then see the one system pulling down its kernel information over here, you know. And then there they are. They're all clean now. They're all in their iPixie and starting up their kernels. And then we should see that start. So that's actually kind of a cool little way to watch that system boot. All we did was a simple while loop over it. That's simple, you know, bash. Nothing special there. Yeah, Pacemaker is part of what used to be called Heartbeat, and I think Pacemaker is the more current, more modern way of doing it. But yeah, that's a tool you could use, just like any tool. My problem with these is those numbers on the right, last seen, are going up, and that is a problem because they're eventually going to go red again, and this doesn't quite make sense why that's happening in the environment. It doesn't make sense to me anyways, why they just start counting up again like that and then not be seen anymore. But you know what, big scheme of things, I actually don't care as long as the system's up and running. So next part to do here is this. We are going to, we've got keys here. So there's a couple ways that I can carry the keys over. CD to, where am I at? We're going to go to root.sh. And the keys that my system uses for the cluster, I believe, are just the, well, cluster will get you in everywhere as well. But I think the ID underscore RSA will as well. So let's copy this just for now. Let's CP this over to 192.168.11.245 root.sh, and then we don't want to blow away the key that I have there, so we're going to call this like cluster. We'll just call this cluster key RSA. It doesn't really matter if you call it RSA or not. Let's call it cluster key. Oh, and then well, it would help if I named the file ID underscore RSA. Right? You gotta name the file you want to copy somewhere. And then I need to know root's password. Ooh, I might not be able to push this directly over there. Hold on. I might have to push this to. Let's do it like this, because root can't get in on that box. So we'll just push it over to, you really don't want to do this, but we'll do it over to temp for a second. Alright, so that'll copy it over there. Jump over here. In temp, there's cluster key. We'll move temp cluster key to here. And then now, let's change the owner. Root on cluster key. And I should be able to, theoretically, be able to say ssh-i root.sh cluster key and get directly into root at, it doesn't really matter if I say root because I am root, but werewolf. Yeah, so that'll jump me right in as with that key, right? So now, just for now, we're going to take this key, this cluster key, and we're going to copy it over to an environment that I have that is jailed. So we know where it's at. So we go to var chroot jail. And in here we've got home, and home is streamer 1, and streamer 1. Wait a minute. Huh. That's weird. We don't have any keys in here for him. Total noob, sorry made it. What'd you say? For each service inside container you need to know. Yeah, so Chris, for each of those ones we do, yes, in that case. No, you're not bugging me. I just didn't see the question. Yeah. So for each of the containers or nodes that I've created inside of Werewolf, these little things here are each node. Yes, I do. So these nodes will be presented to anybody that comes on and asks for them. And then if they've been assigned, they'll be assigned. If they're not assigned, then they'll go. But this is, yeah, these devices are basically coming up, and if you want to think of them kind of like little baby birds in a nest, they don't know who they are, and they're just like yelling for mama. And then as they reach out, the device, there can be only one DHCP server on a network, guys. If you ever have more than one, you're going to F everything up. On this .200 network that I have, this device says, yeah, I know who you should be, and it gives them this stuff. It gives them these profiles, and then I can override these profiles if I want to, and I can do all this other stuff. So, yeah, SSH copy ID would work, except I didn't want to copy over the stuff that was there inside sources. I didn't want to blow away things that were there. That's why I did this. Yeah, SSH copy ID is great, but this was because I needed to rename it, and I needed to not blow away what was already there. Yeah, that was the main reason I did that. So hold on. So let's come back over here. We did that. Streamer 1, and let's give this, let's touch, actually, sorry, where are we at here? Makedir.ssh, and then cd to .ssh, and then from here, we will copy from root.ssh cluster to here, right? So now in this directory we have this, but hold on, ls-l, it's not owned, so the ownership has to change to streamer 1, and then that's cluster key, and then ls-ld, the directory chown also has to be, this is the easiest way to do it, is ls-a, and I would say change ownership -R for streamer 1 to anything.ssh. So everything in there is going to have that permission. And if you do an ls-la, because you'll notice on this one when I did the ls-l, it just showed me inside the directory, and that's cool. But if you go inside the directory with the ls-la, you'll get the cluster key, and you'll also see this is the, right here, this is the directory name .ssh, because it's the directory that you're in at that point. So that's fine. And then let's see. That should be fine. That's fine. Yeah, because nobody, yeah, they can't read or write in there. Yeah, that's perfect actually. So that should go, Okay, so I need to now, again, I'm one-offing this for now, but we've got to fix one other thing in this environment. In Etsy, no, in bin, no. I went up too far. Is it Etsy in here? Nope. Is it bin in here? Yeah. There it is. We're going to VI this bastion.sh. And we're going to do a couple of... We're going to add... we're going to add... we're going to add 5. Actually, shit. I'll just do it like this. So 7. Make this one 8. This one will be like 13 now. You know what? Actually, it doesn't matter for testing. We can just make this one 9 for now. And then this one will be go to the labs. And then this one will be Werewolf 1, Rocky 1. Do I have that host file set? It's not in here, so let's add just for now. It'll be set later because I have a script that fixes it. Well, it's a playbook in Ansible that fixes it, but for now, we're just going to put that Rocky 1 in there. And you say, well, what the hell are you doing, Scott? When you come into my device as this user here, so some of you have been around and know that Sandbox is always open. If any of you were to come into the Sandbox right now, you would see this Rocky user and you'd be able to jump into it. And it should jump over there with that key with no errors. Oh, I got to go fix that. Hold on. Where's that? These are all the instances of it just running. The hell is it? Last time I did that, I did it a little while. I did it since the last time I think inspectors talked in there. Thought I did. Maybe not. Well, hold on. It's definitely in here. And it definitely... Oh, there it is. There it is. The Bastion. So here's the Bastion. Here's how you can get in there right now if you wanted to. That's in the Discord. You guys can go hop in there and play around with it. I need to fix this, though. It's not going to work just yet. CD bin Bastion. And then you might say, well, why don't you... You're fixing this now as like a one-off. I'm fixing it as a one-off to test right now, guys. Later I'll go, and this is one of these things. Once I get something to... Hold on a second, guys. Well, Ranger's not alerting, so that's probably nothing. But I just heard sound like somebody was outside. All right. Anyways, let's go here. 8, and then that's the end of 8. We're gonna change 8, and then we'll make a 9 as well. Oh, it's windy outside. That's what it is. It's super windy. Now, so for this one, Echo, you are being sent to... You're being sent to Rocky 1, and then you're going to get your bin, SSH-L. In this case, you're going to be... Your SSH is going to be -I. You're going to get your home, streamer1.ssh. cluster. What did I call that? Cluster key. And then that's going to go to, you're going to connect to root at Rocky1 with that key. All right, so you say, well, Scott, how the hell do you get into the Bastion then? Well, if I SSH as streamer 1 to my own box here, it'll do it, and it'll ask me for the same password that you guys would have out here. And most of you guys know, while you can get into this network, you guys have seen literally everything is monitored. But anyway, so we get in here, and the streamer 1, this is great 3 4. All right, now 8 should take me to the Rocky Labs, and I say yes, and then it drops me in Rocky. There we go, boom. So if any of you were to go and do this part now, you would get into this Rocky Lab as root. And you say, well, what can I do in there? Well, there's fdisk-l. There's these uncarved disks that you could do all the PVS, VGS, LVS, and you could carve those up. And then if you needed to, you could actually reboot the box, and it would rip you all the way back out. That's one of the things that's cool about a Bastion host is I give you access to the Bastion. You jump through to this other box. If you reboot the box for any reason, which you can, and it's valid, now when you come back over here, that box will be rebooting over here at the console because it was closed by the remote process. But to give you guys full access to servers, I have to give you the ability to reboot them, because otherwise I can't. There's things you can't do, and I also have to give you root, because if I don't give you root, then what? I mean, what are you gonna do? Like, you can't do all the sysadmin stuff you want to do. So there you go. Anyway, so that's that. I have more labs to write. So obviously we have all the Killer Coda labs, right? And those are cool and they're fun. But there's so many limitations for like what Killer Coda has going on in it, and I want to give you guys access to get in. So if you guys didn't catch that, we do have a place for you to go and do Linux for free inside of Killer Coda is free as well. But in our professional Linux user group, there is a place for you to go, and you can jump in and do system type work in there and mess around and look up, hey, how do I install on this Rocky box Olama, and how do I get these different things in there? These are the things that you can kind of do and at least go and practice and play with in a Linux environment if you have to. So let me give you guys the Discord link. We haven't linked that in a long time here. Normally I've got somebody around that'll link that for you guys, but there that is over on the Twitch side, and there it is over on the YouTube side. You guys are welcome to hang out in there and do kind of whatever you want. All right. Other than that, let's see. Did I have anything else that I wanted to do today? I'll leave that one open. So what has to happen with this? So this whole environment, I'm down in this var chroot bin, and the streamer user, if we cat etc ssh shd underscore config, at the very bottom you'll see that the user gets jailed and then can only pass through and do what we allow them to do in that environment. This is all set up from a script over here in our GitHub. Little Tanis GitHub. Come down here a little bit, and it's called Stream Setup. Hey Suzanne, how's it going? And Ricardo Diaz, hopefully this stuff's useful to you guys. And this is our Bastion setup. It was designed to be run from Tower. It's a Bastion deploy tested on CentOS 7 and 8 systems. When I upgrade my environment here for the ProLUG system, instead of being CentOS 7 like it is, I'll put it up to like Rocky 9.4. this is how that all gets deployed through Ansible. So if you're like, hey, does this guy do Ansible? Yeah, we do a lot of Ansible around here. This is all the deployer for, and it looks like a lot, but it's actually pretty simple when you go look at what it's doing and how it kind of gets deployed out. All right. Anyway, so there's that. Bastion deploy, yeah, and then the files that get pushed with it. Inside sources, you're still looking. What kind of work are you doing inside, or what are you looking for? Yep. Got it. I think keeping the Linux side of it sharp is useful across the board, but then I'm biased because I'm a Linux type guy. I posted some stuff up in the Discord. I don't know if you can get a clearance, but I have a lot of people I know that are still working in cleared spaces, and being able to get a government clearance for the U.S. anyways is a good security thing. I probably get about 3 or 4 calls a day from people trying to get me to go do stuff with my top secret. Here's the thing. Well, one, they always grossly under like people. There's something weird about my resume. I'll show you guys my resume if you want. There's something weird about my resume that tells people, hey, this guy's been doing systems engineering for 20 years. He's been teaching college for 16. The next best job for him to do from where he's at is to be like a help desk one. There's something about my resume that says that to people. And I get a lot of calls about that stuff. Like, hey, you want to get into like networking? You want to get into whatever? And I'm like, no, I've been doing this probably longer than your mentor was, like, no, I don't want to do that. And I don't want to do it for $60K a year. $60K sounds good, but when you're later on in your career, that's not going to be the top for you. If you get into engineering, that's not going to be the top for you. Let me just tell you that for sure. All right. So anyways, we're doing this. This is our system stuff. This is what we do around here. The lab's open. There's plenty of labs up on the other stuff. What else did we do? We updated the book because I want the book to be as ready as possible for people. I've got more and more pieces going into it. Every time I write a new lab, I'm dropping it in there. And then when I do an official publish of it again in probably right at the end of July, early August, it'll update for anybody that's gotten the book before. It'll update you and tell you that you get, because the cool thing about that LeanPub site is anybody that ever picks up the book or any of that kind of stuff, they get all the new versions of it. So I think that's pretty cool. You guys want to see my hold on, I'll pull it up here. Where's my where do I got that? Hold on a second here. I don't know exactly where I have that. I think it's just under my normal documents. Het resume short generic. There we go. Pull this up. Yeah, there's something about my resume that just tells people like, hey, the next best job for this guy is to go be some junior engineer pulling cables or something. And I'm like, I don't know where I get off with that. Important things about a resume, I think, is to have it be one page if you can. So it ebbs and flows as engineers. When you first start, it'll be like one page. Just make it one page. When you get further on in your career, I've had my resume as long as 4 pages, but it was because I was showing all the technical things I did. And then now I literally don't care about that stuff anymore. So a lot of that stuff is just kind of smushed down here into like, oh, I was doing these things for this time all the way back to whatever thing. And also to fit it down to one page, you will typically cut it off at 10 years. Mine goes back to about 15 years because of I wanted to have Lockheed Martin on there. That was when I was working out at Lockheed Martin. But then some of these other ones that are here. Yeah, if you can get it down, do that. Lead with whatever you think is the most useful things, if you can, I'm gonna add 59 now. If you can put like a place that shows your projects, I tell people, I've told people in interviews, I'm like, yeah, I included my GitHub because I have one, but I'm not like, I'm not I don't have huge amounts of vast code out there. I just have the things that work for me in my different environments, right? And then summary of qualifications. This is like your short list of things that are, you think relevant. And then experience. If you think experience is more important than college, then you do that, which is what I do. I think my experience is more relevant than my college, and then and even my past experience, right down here, and my education's just down here. These are my actual degrees, but I just removed my college, right? For people, these are actual dates for me. These are actual things that I've done. I'm working on my doctorate, but I don't ever put anything anywhere until it's done. I don't know if you guys know that about me, or if you guys haven't noticed that, but like it's the same thing with like I don't put I'm studying for my CISSP. I put I completed it. That's a personal thing. I don't think anybody else has to do that. If you have nothing else on your resume, put down that you were studying for something. But I'm a big fan of like being complete with something. I can't tell you how much it. Oh, I don't even want to. I'm not even going to get started on that. But the LinkedIn link, it's LinkedIn. I'm on step 4 of 120 days of whatever. I'm on day 4 of 120 days of code. Come follow me. And it's like, well, how about we'll follow you after you've done something? That's what I think. And I hate to sound like a dick about that, but it's just like, man, if we're all just gonna talk, I mean, congratulations. And then you never, if you do follow anybody like that, they stop around like day 12, and you're like, oh wow, that's how far we got, huh? But anyways, all right, I'll stop on that. That's one of the reasons people, you say what you want about a degree being a piece of paper, but it showed that somebody had the time to finish something, right? So it's something to think about. Yeah, you don't need it to get in the industry, not at all. God, no, you don't need a degree, but it's valuable to the people that have been through it and worked through it, All right. Anyways, if you guys want to get in and test that lab, this is the stuff right here. I'll go put this down at the bottom of Sandbox for people that want to test. There you go. It's the very last option in there. Was that Rocky system? Oh god, I hate those effing embeds. Always popping back up. Move this over here for a second. I tend to keep my working stuff to the right. Some of you guys might not have noticed that. And then it's funny, while I'm on stream, I move all my stuff up so I lose this bottom here. But the reason I do that is so that you guys have closed captioning, and maybe it's a little easier for 1 or 2 people to get, to track what I'm saying or whatever. What happened? Where lawyers is an interesting path called reading the law, where someone literally reads the law and does an apprenticeship, and they take and pass the bar. Yeah, Tawny, I'm a big fan of like people just finding a group and sitting around and listening how the engineers talk. And then after some time, you just find out you're an engineer because you talk just like the engineers. I told you guys this. I have an older brother who is still a recruiter in the Army. And then there's me, who's just an engineer and a college professor. And then my two younger twin brothers, they are, one of them's a data analyst with a big insurance company. And the other one does like video editing stuff for his own company. And then my youngest brother, who's about 10 years younger than me, he is a senior software, and he does like middleware for a big insurance company, same one that I used to work with. He doesn't have a degree at all. He has like 2 college classes, and then he was like, this isn't for me. You don't need a degree to do this stuff. Hold on, let's go in here. Let's run this again. Let's go connect back as streamer. And what's my password over there? So now we go to the Rocky lab, which is 8, and it sends me over to Rocky. And then who am I? ID, and I'm over there. I'm the only one over there, but other people can hop in there if they wanted to. And then again, you know, that's a root environment. You do whatever you want in there. But if you reboot the box comes up clean again. And that's the whole goal of these lab environments that I've been building out. I've got all these other nodes. These nodes you're not root on, unfortunately. But these other ones you are going to be root on, because I need you to be able to do all of this. So the first lab I'm going to write, well, actually I have it all written. I just have to kind of edit it, and it's one of these things. I have it at like 85, 90% done, because it was done in a different environment, so I got to tool it over to this environment. But then you're going to be able to say fdisk-l grep-i for xvd, and then you're going to be able to say, okay, I want to carve these up with PVS, VGS, LVS, and you can carve these disks up and turn them into a pool and mount them and all that kind of stuff. I kind of think of software being similar. You can go study formally, or you can work in the field and learn the hard way. Yeah, Tawny, there is. Yeah, I think in that respect, there's probably like 3 paths. There's go study formally at a college, but even then, you're probably still going to be in some kind of mentorship program. There's learn out in the wild, and then there's learn out in the wild with a mentor, right? And some of the guys I know that are the best. And when I say best, I don't care like how clean code is. That's not what I do. What I care is if they make shit work, and if they're good at troubleshooting. Those are the things that I value as an engineer, because of like the way that I've had to do a lot of this. I find that some of the guys that are best at that just kind of learn this. They just kind of learn things through trial and error. So that's kind of a thing that you'll find that I value, right? But at the end of the day, I think that, you know, anybody can do this. You just got to spend some time reading the field manuals, getting in there and working on this stuff and getting good at it, you know. Tawny said you worked programming full-time while doing your master's, which was learned by doing too. Yeah, and I think I told some of you guys, I had a master's when I got in at Lockheed Martin, but it was in business administration, and they don't count that. They count that MBA like a bachelor's. But I had an engineering bachelor, so it didn't matter. But then when I wanted to become a senior engineer, I had to get a master's in engineering to get my senior. So then I did that, and then that's when I get that. Wise Code said, well, I need a bunch of notes for practice. No, you need at the minimum, you just need one system that you can get into. And Killer Coda, I think, is the best place around to start that. You just go to this Killer Coda site. It's free. You can log in, you can log out, you can do whatever you want in there. The login is, you can use like federated access, like Google, or just an email. They don't charge you anything, and then there's all kinds of stuff in here. I happen to think that my labs are pretty okay. That's why I maintain them. We've got Ansible labs and Linux labs that hopefully help you guys get started at doing this. Tawny said your skills got shot up like a rocket. Yeah, I think, you know, you find somebody that kind of follow along with, a good mentor, and I think that can really help. Also, if you're working through problems, I think that's another thing that really helps you to scratch your own itch, as it were, right? Figure out how things work and all that stuff. Let's go look at how, this is the only thing, I've told you guys this before, this is the only thing I get from Killer Coda. I don't get, there's no money involved, there's nothing like that. The cool thing about Killer Coda for me is I can come in here and look at the activity. This is one of my favorite little things. And I can see in the last hour, people have been kicking off scenarios. In the last 24 hours, people have been kicking off scenarios. In the last 7 days, people were kicking off a lot on July 17th. What was the 17th? Was that me? I think I was streaming that day, right? And then in the last 30 days, that was a high point. But in the last 6 months, we're a little low for July, but we're still up there above when we were just before. April kind of took off for, right at the end of April, in fact. We kind of had this whole YouTube thing kind of happen. All fame but no glory. no money but fame and glory. Yeah, Ari, that's true. It's definitely, yeah, there's there's not really a lot of money involved in this. This is more a labor of love. But for people that go and get into this, there's really good money in engineering. In fact, somebody sent me a thing the other day, like median household incomes. Median, yeah, median, not medium, but like median household incomes in the U.S. And I was like, I mean, I thought it was higher, right? Like, because I've been an engineer now for like almost 20 years, and it's like I don't know. Oh, it's different than when I was younger, right? Like, I feel like you can make it when I was younger. I feel like you can make it at like under 60, but like nowadays, I think it's like everything's getting expensive. So, all right, I think I can also drill in on certain times with this too. Yeah, there we go. See how popular some of this stuff was, and I go back and see the whole graph. All right. Anyways, that's fun to me. I that's my main thing that I get out of Killer Coda. My next part of these labs, now that I've got one lab box exposed, I can expose all of them. So exposing all of them will simply be fixing this now. So let's exit out of here. It ripped me. You guys notice I got pulled all the way out of that other box in between. That other connection in between is basically like ephemeral. Is that 2K people? Inside sources, it's just that's how many people. I don't know how many people were actually running them. It could have been less, but that's however many kickoffs of jobs. All right, hold on. So let's go here real quick. Let's pull down, because now I need to pull this down because I need to maintain it. I need to save it. So where am I at? Varsity Troop bin. Let's ls in here, vi my Bastion .sh script. And for my lab environment, I'm just going to say YY, and then I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4. And this will be 9, 10. Oh, no. This will be 10. This will be 10, 11, 12, and 13 now. And then this will be Rocky 2, 3, 4, 5 for now, right? And then I'll come down here and I will say for this one, so this was 8, I'm going to say Y4Y, and I'm going to come down here and I'm going to say P, and then I'm going to say P, and I'm going to say P, and then I'm going to say 1, 2, P. Yeah. So that'll be 8. That'll be 9. This will be 10. Oops. 11. 12. And then the exit was 13, the clean exit. And then the SSH over will be Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Escape : WQ. And then now, if I were to jump back into that Bastion, and again, I don't remember the password, guys. So, because I literally just make these passwords up when I run them. So like then the password reports out to you guys through Ansible, right? So this is great, right? So then I can say 12. Oh shoot! Hold on. Let's go look at input. I'm only giving you one selection. Huh. I guess I could do another loop in there. Right now you surf throughout everything trying to understand how things work. Yeah, Chris, right? I would tell you find something that's interesting to you and study that one thing. That would be me. Learn Linux. I think learning Linux is a critical part of this. Only because Chris mentioned it, guys. I'm gonna go here for a second. We have in our Discord's free, we've got like a beginner section. There's all the Linux stuff, all my Linux YouTubes. You guys are free to go look at those. But if you're like, hey, I just want to like study and read stuff and watch videos and stuff, here are 6 free certs that you can take. You can get the studying on them for free, and taking of the cert itself is also free. So if you guys need to get into, you just need to do something, right? You're like, gosh, you know, Scott showed that resume, and that resume had at least some certs on it. These are all free certs right here that you can go pump up your resume with. Yeah, Chris, you could definitely do this, right? It's you know, people get into a command line and they're immediately terrified because, you know, it's you've got all this stuff that can go wrong here, but you don't. There's no reason for you guys to worry if you're in a lab environment. Break it. Who gives a shit? It's a lab, right? It's one of the reasons I like that Killer Coda stuff so much. You guys can literally go in there and just reset that lab over and over again. It'll just give you a new thing. But yeah, we've got all this stuff down here. We've got a fair amount of like engineers that are out there wanting to help you guys. I've told like we've got a section that like I don't think most people see until they've been around for a while, but like the ProLUG engineers. These are like the people that have been with us for a longer time in the server. And I tell them in there, I'm like, this isn't the place to like tell people you're an idiot. Like, that's not what we do around here, right? That's like that Wakanda thing. Like, we don't do that here. What we do here is we will politely tell you to go read the manual if you need to. But for the most part, our job here is to like get you guys doing this stuff. And sometimes somebody just needs to be pointed the right direction. You know, maybe somebody just needs to know that they should know about APIs. And maybe for like you guys that want to do SRE work, you want to go read those Google books on, you know, there's free, the SRE Google books are free. You can go read these all you want. Learn about site reliability engineering from Google. EK Shunyam, yeah, hopefully that's good. Where is Rob's like traveling the country right now, isn't he? I haven't seen him stream the last couple days, but I know Rob's around. RWX Rob. Look at that, guys. Look, you want to know more about this stuff, get out the book and read it. And you know what? I'll tell you what, like some people go, oh, reading puts me to sleep. And I would tell you, you know what then? Open up the book and read it for 5 to 10 minutes every night before you go to sleep. Because there's 2 reasons for that. 1, you're going to learn something. And 2, man, do you know how many people nowadays complain about not being able to go to sleep at night? They're always looking at their phones and not able to go to sleep. So now you find this foolproof way, you know, it's a foolproof way to, like doctors hate him because of this one trick. He reads for 10 minutes and it puts him right to effing sleep. I used to tell people all the time to read the RFCs for stuff because the RFCs will put you to sleep. The RFCs are boring, but they're the technical implementation guides for everything on the internet. So RFCs are great, right? Anyways, so let's go check. Let's see. Hold on. So I fixed that, I think. Let's go check. Streamer is... What is my password? Oh, I've forgotten the password again. I'm literally not going to commit it to memory either because it doesn't matter. It's ephemeral. I will blow it away and start back over with a new one next time. This password will always be different right here, right? Anyways, so... All right, so then we go 12. You're being sent to... Oh, I got to go fix the wording. Oh, okay, hold on. That's my fault. So in hosts, Etsy hosts, cd to Etsy, PI hosts. That's my own fault. Let's just add these in here now. I'll fix again. The environment has to be unscottified, right? Scott has ruined everything. We're doing it manually again. Later we automate it, but sometimes I just like to see it work the first time. All right, that will work. That will do it. And let me think real quick. That's going to do all the things I need. Now I'm just going to test that I can get over there, and that should be... That's it. Yep. $12? Sent to Rocky. Oh, I got to fix that. Sent over to that node. Is 5 down? Let's see if 5's down. It says 1, but I did 5. Came from RWX Hero. And fun fact: in order to read the official PDF format specifications, you need to read the PDF from the ISO website. Nice. Hold on. We're having something going on. Are these nodes not up? What are you doing? What the heck? What's going on here? Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. These nodes... Because I went to... Let's try something. Just ping Google real quick. Alright. Then we go back over here. No, it's not that. So why can it see... Hold on. Rocky 1 immediately, but the other 4 not immediately. But... Let's see. We found them immediately here. Oh, hold on. God damn it. Let's see, host. We put them there. So... We know that that's... So that's true right there regardless, even if we're going to Werewolf. That's so weird. That's so weird. Because I know that that's flowing correctly. That's weird. Alright, well, I'll have to figure that out. But the other part... Oh, hold on. Let's go look at something else. Let's go to the console. We're in the system. They also have that name. They also have the 11.102 in this case. Strange. Yeah, I can still stream. I'm not on CrowdStrike. That's funny. Oh, SK, did you see all the memes down in our Discord about that? Man, there was a lot of them. There was a lot of them. I gotta update. Oh, hold on. Oh, I gotta update this too. Hold on. Cat Etsy Ansible hosts. So we've got Rocky now. So this will respond from the 1. No? Oh, well. Yeah, I guess the key... I can ask for a key. Or I can ask for a password. Although, I don't know if we can get in those remotely like that. Yeah. Start with basic networking, Wireshark packets, not port scan, mainly stuff related to pen testing. Cloud, Dockers, Kubernetes, going to be the source of my main command. I said, yeah. Chris, especially if you want to get into Kubernetes and Docker, that's what Killer Coda is all about. In fact, Killer Coda is directly related to the people that do the testing for that. So like Killer Coda and Killer Shell are the same tooling for like if you want to go get like Kubernetes certs later on in your career. You be learning pen testing, nice. Yeah, there's some good resources out there for that. I mean, there's a lot of people that are wanting to do that. I will always tell everybody, focus on the basics, because the pen testing and all the other stuff, they come back to the basics, especially when you got to troubleshoot them. So like obviously do what's interesting to you, but make sure you're learning the networking and the Linux and the disk and how the things are interacting. And I almost want to say like the computer science-y part of it, because that's super valuable. Oh, SK, we were talking about all the memes, man. We were talking about all the CrowdStrike stuff. I don't think Rocky was affected by CrowdStrike, but maybe it was. What the hell? Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know why any of these. Because Rocky 1 immediately came up for me. But Ansible. Oh, okay. I guess I don't worry. I'm not too worried about that. Plus, I don't think I allow root to log in directly, anyways. So, but no, to the Rocky boxes, it should be able to. Huh. Well, I got to figure out my networking in here then, because my networking should just work in that environment. So, I guess we'll figure out later. All right, I got to change this music. This is. Let's go find something dark. I got dark music in here. Let's go streaming dark. That other stuff was kind of getting a little too upbeat for me. All right. Let's see. In the environment, why can't I? Let's see if we resolve. No response from that guy, which is fine. And then, Inside Source just sent my resume over to me on Discord. I'm going to lay down now. Yeah, Inside Source. I'll take a look at it. I'll check it out later. That'll be good. All right. What else are we doing here, guys? Let me get this out of the way. We're not doing that right now, but I do think Killer Coda is one of the best places you can spend your time at. Home Lab is all up right now. Wait a minute. How is Prometheus hitting? So my Prometheus node is here. So, wait a minute. So those boxes are never... I wonder if I did something weird in my IP tables. I don't remember doing anything weird in the IP tables, but Maybe I set something. Maybe something weird's going on in here. No, I don't have anything. Wait a minute. I think I blew away some of these. Because I'm supposed to do... Huh. I mean, my IP tables looks alright. Yeah, well, Suresh, I know, or SK, I know that... Hold on a second. Hold on. I need to get that working again. There we go. Alright, it's working again. Let's pull up, where were we at here? This one. Ranger has literally not moved this entire stream. No, I just gotta think about why does all this work, right? Like, why do all the other things in that... This is a disparate network, right? That network can only be spanned by going through C router. There's no other way over there for these devices. Like, that's the only way to get in there. So Rocky should just ping. And Rocky 2 should just ping. Just like, I mean... It doesn't make... Oh, hold on a second. Hold on. Hold on. 160. Wait a minute. Hold on. I don't think I can get in there as this user. Hold on. This is... I think this is me. In the home lab. Oh, I got a different password in there. Shoot. Alright, well, this is why we always have console, right? This box. ARP A. It doesn't have ARP, huh? Well, that's no good. It's got the 160 on it. Yep, and the 200.1 because it's functioning as the router over there. And I guess we can do this. We can TCP dump, right? And then we'll man TCP dump, and we'll look for, what the heck's the name of that? It's it's the packet filter. It's right here. Packet filter is libcap, so we're gonna man lib pcap. Man, what? All right, we'll go do it over here. PCAP NG. No? What the F? It's at the bottom of this. You have to come all the way to the bottom to find this crap. Oh, PCAP filtered. PCAP filter. And then in here, this is source host. Yeah, source host, whatever. So let's go here. TCP dump, IP adder, TCP dump, eth one dash I eth 1 and source host 192.168.11.245. All right, so that's going to listen on eth1 for that, and I'm going to try to do these same things. So I'm going to ping over to like Rocky 1, and we'll see that going right through. Boom, right? You guys see that? So I did a search over here, or not a search, a TCP dump, and I looked for my source over here, generating data over there, right? And then I go to Rocky 2, and what's happening with Rocky 2? Rocky 2 is hitting that interface, right? That's fine. That's working fine. I mean, it's 3's hitting there too. 4, all those are hitting there. But now, let's go and we know if we grep Rocky from Etsy hosts, here's my IP addresses, right? So now, let's do this. We'll go TCP dump, and we won't even give it an interface. Let's see if we can let it listen to all the interfaces. I think that'll work. It might just have picked. So now it's listening on eth0, and we'll ping Rocky 1. Okay. And then we'll ping Rocky 2. IP adder. Now we need to deal with eth1. No, so that was eth1. Now we need to deal with eth0. Is eth0 able to play with this? So ping Rocky 1. Yep. Ping Rocky 2. That's also going there. All right. So now we flip it. We go eth0, which we expect the destination, right, to be 192.168.11. So this is traffic coming back in now on eth0, and Rocky 1. Oh, hold on. DST. It's not DEST. It's DST. Sorry, guys. So dest. Now watch. The ping Rocky 1 will definitely reply back to me. Yes, because he is. Yeah, there's no problem there. But Rocky 2 is never sending me a reply back. You guys see that? So what have I done? I've tested with a filter on my device that is acting as a router. I'll turn my filter off. I am filtering for the different interfaces, and I'm looking at the interfaces like this. Look, if this goes fast, this is how it sometimes has to be, right? Like when we're troubleshooting and we're working and we're going fast, we have to move, right? It's like Riddick. If you guys remember the movie Riddick, he's like, there's one speed, it's mine. My eth0 is my 200 interface. That is my lab network. My one interface, 192.168.11.160, that's my home network. So on one, when I was running on one, I was watching for things coming from this box here, which is my jump box out in the 11 network, right? Out where 1 is. So when I was doing that, I was pinging that way. And every piece of traffic, every device got here. Yeah, so from the router myself, yeah, can I ping 192.168.11. 200.51? Yes. Can I get to 52? Also yes. So it was almost like those. Oh wait, no. Did I stig the? No, I didn't stig the boxes. I was thinking maybe I did my stig on them, and then they weren't gonna respond to like next hops. But no, I didn't do that, so that's not a thing. But we saw the traffic leaving. So if we can't scroll up in a console, that's one of the annoying things. On this one, on ETH0, where the source host was me, I saw traffic leaving. So like when I pinged 1, it's leaving this device and going out to the world. And when I pinged Rocky 2, it's also leaving that device. So if you're thinking about it, like, I don't want to pull up Excalidraw right now, but if we wanted to draw this out, the devices are not responding. So let's go over here. Watch. We can even take it a step further. We'll go here, and we'll go to Rocky. Oh, see, yeah, that's all working, because that traffic's all going to go through. We're going to go to Rocky 2, and on Rocky 2, we're going to do a TCP dump now. Let's do IP adder real quick. Oh, I wonder if it's because they have that other interface. They still have these bullshit ass interfaces. IPR. Yep. Watch this. I'm gonna remove. So IP del default via, I think it's one. Wait, hold on. ETH0 is 200. I think 200. I still think, hold on. Let's do this. If down ETH1. Oh, they don't have if down. It's some NMCLI command that I never know. And you know what? What's even better though is we're gonna do it like this. We're gonna exit this box. This filter's cool, but it doesn't really help us right now. Let's go to Rocky 2. We're gonna do the same thing that we did earlier, and we're going to turn him off. Shut him down. Actually, we're gonna shut them all down, but we'll do one at a time. We do one off test, right? Biotech Nick, noob question. How did you set up more than one IP address on the same machine? Are they sub IP addresses of the 192.168.200? No, so they're two networks. You can kind of think of the devices as they're virtual machines, but they have 4 networks connected to them. This network is actually connected internally and has a DHCP server on the C router. Sorry, there's no DHCP server there. The DHCP server is over on Werewolf. But the inside of this router is the 192.168.200.1 interface, which is basically what most people think of as like the network, right? So all of these devices, when they come up on this network, they go to this guy. But when they came up on this network over here, they go out to my home router, and I think that's effing it all up. So we're gonna remove these, just like we did this on the other one, so we know it's safe. But let's do this. Remove this. You have to turn them off to do it, and let's start this box back up, and then we'll ping. Well, we can watch it boot, right? Because it's fun to watch these boot, because the way they boot, they go and they pull their iPixie, and that. Yeah, well, SK, they are currently coming up in what we call a dual honed. It's a dual honed environment. They have 2 different networks that they're holding onto. The kernel inside of the networking portion of a Linux kernel can handle, oh god, maybe 64 networks. You could have so many attached networks. It's like you're slapping the roof of that used car saying you could fit so many, networks in this bad boy. That's exactly what that meme. It's exactly what it's like. So I'm removing those things so it can't grab them. It can only grab the one network. And I suspect I at least just suspect that when this comes back up, we can ping it if we want here, because this is internal to it. We'll see when it responds and comes back up, and then I think we'll be able to connect to it from the outside. I think it won't have that dual honed, let's say, routing type issue. We'll see. All right, we got pings. The system's up. Yeah, system's up. Ping. So we will SSH Rocky 2. This box always could get there. This box could not, but now the pings are back up, no problem. That's it. Yeah, that's fine. I don't care about that part. All right, so let's rip these off. So turn them all off. In the future, I will build them from a cleaner template. Let's go shut down. Yes. Shut down. Let's go to my... Here's my Rocky template over here. I don't think I can change any of those settings. No, I can't. On the box while he's down. So while it's a template. Now I could bring the template up, and then I could fix it and then turn them back off, and that's what I might end up having to do. But for now, let's just go over here, go to our networking. Yeah, we're ripping out stuff. Look, in a general, like in a normal home lab environment, this wouldn't matter. Like, because in a normal home lab environment, you wouldn't do what I did. I did this because what I wanted to do was give people access to this network, but not let them have access to like the home lab type stuff. So this is its own little locked out. This is its own little network over here, and it can't interact with the rest of the network normally. So that's just like a little bit of a protection that I have, because I do allow people to come in, you know, via a you know, environment. And let's bring these up and make sure that we can get to all the boxes. So over here, this is funny, we can go back to our, we have our, oh, here it is. This is Ansible -K Rocky -M shell -A uptime, and I don't think I could give a different user. Let's try --help. Oh, I could do a different user, so I can say -K and then -U Scott. That's my user now. We don't need the help on there anymore. Should ask me for my password, which is, I think, and then I should just be able to hit the two boxes for sure. The other ones will be down. Yeah, there's the two boxes, and the other ones won't be up yet because they're not up all the way yet, but in a bit they will be. David on the YouTube side said XCPNG is similar to VBot. Yeah, so yeah, XCPNG is a fork of Zen. So Zen was picked up a few years back. It's XEN. Was picked up by Oracle. And when that happened, that caused some different things to happen in the industry. One, AWS moved away from it, because AWS still under the hood. You'll still notice things that are Zen related. But XCPNG is a fork of that. It is a pretty solid tool. I enjoy using it. And it has, but it has limitations in that people really aren't supporting the Ansible modules for it anymore. It doesn't have nearly as much, just as much support as some of the other things. So I can't do as much stuff as like you can kind of do with Proxmox. But I still do infrastructure as code with this. I can still deploy and tear down these Rocky machines via Ansible, right? I use Ansible to deploy these. We're in here one-off in this and like kind of white-knuckling it and trying to get it to work. Yeah, so the Rocky 1 to 5 are just a set of nodes that are defined inside of Werewolf over here. So my Werewolf system, I can see my nodes over here, and then it's weird. They're going to come up and then they're going to go into this weird state where they're not up and responding correctly, but they will be working just fine. So I really don't care if they don't respond over there, because over here on some other system, I can go in and hit them all with Ansible. Watch, so you're just going to see it hit. This should hit all of them now and should give me the uptime of the boxes, which is, you know, 1 to 57 minutes or whatever, because that's when I've been rebooting them in the last little bit here. So we got that going. Now I should be able to do this part again, which is that SSH to... I'm going to have to press up like a million times to find it. And it's funny. Oh, here it is. Yeah, there it is. And then I need to know the password again, because I don't remember the password. Hey, Ranger turned around. So we know where Ranger is. Nobody has to do a Ranger check. Oh, I need to do the password right. And then we go to like Rocky Lab 5 and it says, do you know your key? And then we're in there. And we're root users, so that's good. So I've got that lab all stood up the way that I need. And then now all I got to do is take that stuff that I had built and move it up into my GitHub. So the GitHub for that I'll replace 2 files. One is the host file that has the correct paths, you know, host mappings of IP to host names. And then the other one is the Bastion.sh that includes those systems. Oh, and then there's a little more Ansible I have to add now, because now I have to copy the key over there each time with the correct ownership. So I'll copy a key, I'll give it the correct owner, and then the user will be able to get on. And then when you're in the system, you'll be able to do whatever you want in here. You can even reboot the box. Look, I'm a normal user just like you, but over here I'm root, and when I reboot, it'll kick you all the way out. It'll rip you all the way out of the system. You don't have to type reboot 3 times like I did. That's an old systems thing. In that, old systems used to need that. New systems haven't needed that for a long time. Message retracted. Yep, sorry I missed your message over there. So there we go. That's what we're doing here. That's kind of the lab setup. And then what I'll do is, hold on, let's come back over here. Go back to my playbook. I thought I had these set up in such a way that this should have keyed and worked. If I don't, though, let's do another help. I don't use Ansible in this way often. Can I give it a different... Oh. I can give a different... Okay. Good. Let's just try this real quick. Our private key will be root.ssh, and then in this one it's cluster key. And that, and then we'll take our help off there. That should connect, because that's the cluster private key for all those nodes. So there we go. All right, so now I have a way to do that, and I can add that in to my, Rocky 5 is, Rocky 5 not up yet? I thought I was just connected in on that one. Oh, he's the one I just rebooted again. Well, that's my fault. He'll be up here in a second for the rest of the thing. Biotech Nick, yeah, I apologize if I didn't answer, but Pool in this context is just the nodes. Now what I'm going to do eventually is turn these, this is the same thing I build out in the high performance compute space. Connect these to shared storage. Well, they already have some shared storage. But give them like a tool like SPAC. Start giving them, the tool is SPACK. SPAC allows you to deploy the same tools on everything. And then what I'll do from there, let's let this run again, is give them all the same tools and start doing some like testing. It won't, this environment will not be fast, guys. This will just be a functionally working, very lightweight HPC, like high performance compute type cluster. And then what I'd like to do with this Werewolf is get some of my automation scripts in place. Now that I've kind of gotten like the base pieces done, I'll go back and I'll work some of the automation and then be able to deploy it up in the cloud. Because one of the things about a lot of these tools is being able to burst up into the cloud. You know, if I do try to run something that's way more than these 3 or these 5 boxes can handle, which is would be very quick in this case, I would be able to burst up into the cloud, do more processing up there, and then tear down the systems when I was done. Yeah, JS, we probably could do that. Yeah. So this is the system setup. I need to fix the way this is called, because if I want to make it one run, I wonder if I could use more keys. I don't know. Yeah, biotech. I've used SPAC at look at this. This SPAC tool, man. Like I've used this at like NOAA. I've used this at some big colleges. It's a really nice just package. Everything just kind of works with it. So let's see. When's the last time it's been up? I mean, it's still getting updated. Multi-platform package manager builds and installs. But mostly when you get something at the level you want, you could have everything just run. You know, it just updates everything with SPAC with whatever versions of whatever you're doing. Makes your life a lot easier. Mostly I'm lower than this. I'm down doing systems, making sure systems are exactly the same. It's a big part of what I do. I do the cluster security. I do the updating of all that stuff as well. But let me see. All right. Alright, so there's this. Alright, so what else do we got? Oh man, we're over 3 hours. I've just been messing around. So what did we get done today? We got the Bastion set up so people that want to connect through can get to the Rocky system. I just need to remember before I tear that down that I have all those changes in there, and I'll update the changes so that they're like codified into my it's not quite a CI/CD pipeline, but it is a infrastructure as code setup. So I need to make sure that those are in there so that I don't have to do that work ever again. That'll always just be deployed when my system deploys it. So we do use that stand up and tear down of that cloud stuff is all done through Tower. Well, AWX, which is the upstream of Tower, right, from Red Hat. What else? I think that's all I got tonight, guys. I'm pretty beat. And oh, it's 11:30 here, so yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, if this stuff's interesting to you, feel free to join the Discord. Make sure you guys, hang out, talk shop with other engineers and all that kind of stuff. Especially if you're trying to get into this space. Well, I think one of the best things you could do is find engineers that are doing things, and either hang out with them or ask them what they should, would recommend. I think all the guys have slightly different versions of what they're going to recommend you to do, but at the end of the day, it's, keep doing Linux, keep getting your hands on systems, and then find something interesting to you that's, and if that happens to also be Linux, well, that's great. But if it's like some of you guys were saying, doing cybersecurity, that's fine, do that. If it's going out and getting certs in the cloud, do that, do all that. Yeah. I appreciate you being here, Jash. It's always good when people, I don't know what it's saying for names, but don't worry about what closed caption calls you. My closed caption's like the worst, but it does all right. Yeah, all right. I will talk to you guys. Let's go throw it to the end of the stream. On the Twitch side, we'll go raid somebody. We'll go find somebody going on. YouTube side, unfortunately, we just end. But let's find... let's see if there's anybody over here. They changed up my raid stuff, so it doesn't look like it normally does. I can't. I'm not even going to bother tonight, guys. It's late. Oh, well, hold on. Let's just go find somebody. I was going to just cancel it out, but somebody's doing something. What the heck's a YARP bot? Let's go raid YARP bot. Alright, guys. You probably won't hang out there too long, but maybe it's doing something fun. Alright, and for the rest of you, I'll see you guys. If I can, I'll get on early tomorrow and we'll do some labs. But otherwise, I will see you guys later next week.